living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE. Welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what Jason Voorhees does to kids at summer camp. Tonight we have another flat Earth debate for you. Debate. So this is someone who I've been talking to on Facebook for a while. I'm not going to just tell you his actual name. He wants some anonymity, and we will respect that absolutely. But he has some real-world engineering to present us to apparently prove that the Earth is definitely flat. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, Team Skeptic. How you doing, buddy?
Yo, what up?
Yay. This will be the first stream where me and Team do not have a delay between us.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. Because, okay, so first off, we don't have the camera on tonight because, as most of you remember from last night, part of my studio fell down off the wall. And I haven't had a chance to put it back up yet. But I did have fiber optic internet installed today, and when we connect to fight through my call, then we have a minimum delay. So you guys will actually not hear us over talking people on accident, getting frustrated, yelling, throwing stuff at the walls, all that shit that you've grown accustomed to, unless you ask for it nicely. Yeah,
we can always oblige if you want us to shout and stuff. But we're going to have a good stream tonight. Got a couple of new members come in, some Belgian dude and the Spirit84. Thank you very much, guys. You can now use the new emojis that I've added. I've got some in there. I still have space for another 6. So you guys need to let me know what other emojis you want, and I will get some more added. But let's introduce the guest for tonight. We are going to call him Lorenz Force. He is here to teach us the ways of the flat Earth. Lorenz, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, how's it? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Okay, yeah. I'm just here to basically present some evidence and make a few points and kind of leave it for everybody else to decide kind of where to go from there.
Okay. I'm going to ask you the question that I ask all flat earthers when I bring them on. Why do you think the Earth is flat?
A common answer is, it's common sense, right? You look around, there's no motion, everything looks flat, or whatever the case is. But it was when somebody pointed it out back in 2015, and it was kind of one of those things where you just start looking and start looking and start looking. And the more you uncover, you see that the actual globe lie just falls apart. Everything is CGI. You've heard, all the things, all the points. But at the end of the day, people are still programmed with the globe lie. So,
okay, so
if you strip all that apart, there's nothing left in my view. Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you take away the globe, then there is nothing left, I guess. But,
no, if you take away the CGI, yeah.
Oh, the CGI. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you just go into presenting your evidence? So you've sent me a Google Docs, a Google Slides. Do you want me to just bring that up?
Yeah. We'll go up, and then I'll just kind of go through the slides, and then we'll kind of talk about some of those points, I guess, when we come back in.
Okay, so
now let me ask you, before we get started, can I ask a question? Now, I already want to question something you've already said, and I know you haven't got to present points yet, so would you prefer I hold that question until after you present all your points before? It's just a basic question about common sense. You said that it's common sense to you that it's flat. But I would say that common sense to you is not necessarily common sense to me, or common sense to Fight the Flat Earth, or common sense to PhD Tony, who's out, I'm sure will eventually be in the chat if he's not already there, who actually works in, works with certain seismological data that he has, that common sense to him would say that it couldn't possibly be flat unless it was centered around the South Pole, or at least from certain observations that he's presented, certain data points that he's presented. Regarding observations. So that's all I wanted to bring up, and if you want to address that now, that's fine. If not, we can wait till the end to address that, but I would like to point that out.
Yeah. We can talk about that in a little bit.
Okay, great.
All right. Okay, so I'll start playing the slides, and you just tell us what we're seeing.
Okay, so I'm just going to go through it.
Oh, I went a bit faster. Let me get back to slide. Okay. Yeah. So slide 3. Here we go.
All right, so here's the claim. Oh. All right, globe is dead. Whoop. What are we doing?
No, it's all right. It's on there.
Okay, so I'll just go ahead and read this for the listeners. Globe is dead. Most people are simply still in denial after hearing the news or haven't looked into it thoroughly enough to confirm it. Let me make it perfectly clear scientifically once and for all. There is precisely zero spherical Earth math used in reality whatsoever. Not in air, sea, or land navigation, engineering, surveying, military weaponry, etc. Go look in any real-world application manual and try to find spherical Earth math factored in mathematically. It does not exist. You may find diagrams, references, images, etc., but no spherical Earth math at all, ever. If it existed as it should, there would be no debate on how to calculate Earth's curvature or speed, and those who give various equations are irrelevant to the functioning and operation of real-world instruments, navigation, structures, roads, bridges, etc. In other words, the overwhelming and non-debatable scientific evidence for Earth being flat and stationary is the absence of any spherical Earth or motion math factored into any real-world applications. Spherical spinning Earth only exists in CGI, animations, simulations, drawings, diagrams, illustrations, and other propaganda. Our entire reality is constructed and operates in the absence of any spherical math or motion Earth calculations. Lastly, and what should be most troubling for spinning ball believers, is that Earth has never been scientifically proven to be a spinning sphere at all. They cannot provide you with who conducted the scientific study, dates, times, instruments used, and how many other scientists or independent researchers can repeat the study. Globe is dead. Rest in peace. Now please respect the dead.
Wow. Okay. Do you want to talk about that, or do you want to move on first?
Let's kind of just go through it, and then we'll come back.
Okay. All right. On to the next one on slide 4.
Yep. Let's do it. Okay. So what I see a common trend is for those that are in support of the globe lie are the use of unofficial sources, right? Articles, websites, YouTube videos, books, magazines, and other propaganda. But if you look into the actual official sources, the ones that are used in real world applications, operator manuals, schematics, user manuals, technical manuals, field manuals, and official government reports, you will not find any spherical or rotational math factored in. You there?
Yeah, I moved it on.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we have to look at this from a different perspective, or from a perspective of theory versus real world application. And of course, there's physics involved in engineering. Obviously, it's a fundamental of engineering, but when you start getting into the cosmos and how the universe works, or whatever the case is, that Fight the Flat Earth, seems like he knows a lot about, then that's when you kind of start losing that reality aspect of it. Where are the real world measurements? Where is the real world rotation factored in? And where is it actually applied in real world applications? So that's where the disconnect is, I believe.
Okay, next one.
Okay.
Okay, slide 6. Okay.
Okay, so this is just what I've already proposed. Basically, where is the alleged spherical curvature and rotation factored into any real-world engineering applications?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, next one's up. I think you're watching the stream on YouTube, so you might be a few seconds behind on what you're seeing.
Right, I don't even see it in the presentation either. Okay, so one of the other, globe heads that has the as a platform as well, he brought up a point about idealization, and he said idealization is the process, not him, but the source that he cited. Idealization is the process by which scientific models assume facts about the phenomenon being modeled that are strictly false, but make models easier to understand or solve. However, if you look further, it talks about if an approximation is accurate, the model will have high predictive accuracy. So the question is, if flat Earth is so dumb and idiotic, why is all real world engineering math based upon a flat Earth?
Okay. All right, slide 8. Okay, it's up.
So here's the inconsistencies is something that I've noticed, and of course you got different people, trying to represent the globe, and some people just don't know. So I got it, but of course we know that the common misconception is the 8 inch per mile squared, but you still hear people cite that, and then they still go off of it and say, well, it's not exactly 8 inch per mile squared. That's just for short distances, right? And then you hear other formulas. You got the 6371 kilometer radius. You don't see any convex in reality. So we'll get into that here in a second as well. So I got the definition of radius here at the bottom. In classical geometry, a radius of a circle or sphere is any of the line segments from its center to its perimeter. And in more modern usages, also the length. The name comes from the Latin radius, meaning ray, but also the spoke of a chariot wheel. So we'll go from there.
Okay, slide 9. Okay, it's up.
So I believe this is the equation that you cited on Facebook at the very bottom there. I don't know if that looks correct.
Yeah.
But if you put in any kind of equation, so I know we talked about this before online, where you had, even if it's 14 miles, and somebody made a joke about, oh, it's only 14 miles, but it was flat based on actual real world engineering. They set a land speed record, and we're going to get into that in a little bit here as well. But even at 14 miles, there should be 130 foot or 130 feet of curvature, which obviously they would not have been able to break that speed record with a 130 foot curve.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it.
Slide 10.
That's just 14 miles, but I got you.
Okay.
Okay, so here is where I really wanted to kind of look at the big picture, right? And so this right here is a map of all of the locations where they tried to break the speed records, right? So if it's flat in Brazil, if it's flat in the United States, if it's flat in Africa, and basically all the countries around the world, but then all of a sudden it turns into a globe, right? And I got it. Again, you're going to say, well, it's wrapped around a globe or whatever the case is, but I've traveled around the world, and I've seen it firsthand, but I wanted to make sure we got the real world engineering out there to where they're actually going out there in the real world, all across the world in these flat locations. And
okay.
yeah, I got you. I know. I got you. Yep, we're going to laugh some, but this is just a map of where all across the world they've actually set land speed records, proving that real world engineering is based upon a flat stationary plane, and we'll get into that some more.
Okay, next slide. Okay, it's up.
All right, I don't see it yet. Okay, so this is just, kind of what we talked about, where ironically, the lead engineer for the Bloodhound speed record project used or said that gravity is what made the Earth perfectly flat. All they had to do was remove some rocks and some pebbles, and Earth was flat enough for them to actually set ground record speed without doing anything. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to modify the track and adjust for elevation or curvature or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They said gravity flat. They said gravity flattened the Earth. There's no 96, feet of curvature. I got you. I know we got the face coming on. I got you. I'm just presenting data here. This is real world engineering using the flat Earth to achieve engineering accomplishments. All right.
Okay, next one. Okay, it's up.
Okay, so this was just, I just wanted to kind of bring this up to where this isn't just something that came about. This was presenting this data over and over and over the years, actually. But even just these two different posts recently within the last week, you see that it was a combined 2.4 thousand comments and no spherical formulas or rotational math factored into any official engineering real-world applications. So all of your followers or whoever follows these Facebook groups, they had plenty of time to present the evidence, the real-world official evidence. And the only thing I said or seen was the same things that they were talking about, was the diagrams and some random formulas that aren't actually applied in reality.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, next one.
There he goes. Okay, so this is, I'm not going to get too much into this. We're going to blast through this because this is not a key point. This just some followers of yours that kept bringing this up, celestial navigation. So I just wanted to bring it up where on one, on one hand, they say people used to think the earth was flat. And then on the other hand, they say celestial navigation has been used for thousands of years. So if those go together, then they know that celestial navigation has been used using or without using spherical earth math or rotational math. Does that make sense?
Yeah, unless you want to use a sextant or an astroblade or something. But yeah, sure.
Right. I know, but I'm saying under the assumption or the presumption that the earth is flat. So if they've been using a flat earth model for thousands of years and navigating using celestial navigation with mathematical precision, then you don't need it, spherical or rotational math to celestial navigate. All right, go ahead.
I mean, you've no idea, but celestial navigation absolutely
I know.
destroys the flat Earth. That we can get into that.
No, it doesn't. No, it can't. It can't. If they've been using it for thousands of years before the globe, before
remember
the globe
that you're
came
talking
about.
to a sailor.
Okay. I know. I got you. I'm just pointing out facts. All right. Can't have it both ways. All right. So yeah, let's just blast through this. So we'll talk about this a little bit. We can come back to this if you want.
Yeah. How many more slides is there?
Keep going. That's what I'm saying. We're trying to get through it.
Okay, slide 15.
So keep going. I'm going to make one point here real quick. I don't see it yet, but okay. So the reason why I want to bring this particular slide up, because this is two different kind of models that I've seen where you see where it's in the middle at the equator, you call it the Great Circle. They add the bottom half of that circle, the sphere, and then, say there's two hemispheres, but in reality, everything is actually occurs on the actual flat plane there with the dome over it, or whatever the case is. And so you don't need a sphere, and they haven't used spheres to navigate. So let's just keep going. Yeah, you'll see it. What I'm saying is the only part of this that matters is the part.
Do you know what the Haberstein formula is?
I've heard of it, but I'm not getting into that. That's what I'm saying. This is not my.
You've got it on the screen, but okay.
No, I know where. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. It's just to bring up a point.
Okay, yeah.
It's just to bring up a point.
Okay, next one.
I know. So this is a better picture of that, right? You've got the flat plane, and then all the actual navigation that occurs above it. You're never gonna go below the flat plane and navigate in that direction, right?
Right.
All right, go ahead. You think you're going over a ball? I got you. Okay. Keep going.
Okay, next slide's up.
There's only one hemisphere, yep. Again, this is just kind of further elaboration on that.
I told you Australia was fake, team.
Oh no, Australia's real.
Nope.
I got a buddy in Australia.
Oh, do me a favor, go and ask him to look at Polaris.
All right.
All right, carry on. Oh my god.
Oh, but look, right there, you see where it says due to the flattening of the Earth? I'm not even going to get into that, but let's keep going. Why are we still here?
No, it's right. I've moved it on. We're on the next one. Oh my god.
Okay, so I know we can blast through this too, but this is just a perfect example of some of these, the historical engineering, present day engineering tools and instruments that have been used under the presumption and assumption that Earth is flat and stationary. Therefore, they're not using any tools, they're not using any instruments, they're not using any spherical math to navigate and use these instruments in reality.
I count 7 things there that prove the Earth is a globe, but cool.
Okay. We'll come back. We'll come back to it.
Just out of interest, have you any idea how a sextant works?
I have kind of an idea.
So not really.
But kind of. I know.
Okay. What about an astroblade? Have you any idea how an astroblade works?
No, I didn't get a chance to look at that, but it's flat.
Are you aware that astroblades, you have to have separate discs for different hemispheres of the Earth to put into it?
So, okay, so we can look at that though, right? Because again, when you look at the flat plane, when you're saying northern and southern hemisphere, in my mind, that's inner and outer circle, right? So maybe there's a halfway point that goes, over the flat plane, and so now you have inner and outer, and so that could be considered, what do you call it? Northern and southern hemisphere, whatever, but still flat.
Magnets disagree, but okay, cool. Next one.
Magnets, okay, all right.
Fight. Can I interject just real quick? I think it's called astrolabe.
Astrolabe,
sure.
sorry.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, astrolabe. And then the second thing is that we probably need slow mode on the chat for 30 seconds.
Give me a sec, I'll get that up.
They're just asking for it.
Yeah.
They're just asking for it. But go ahead with your presentation.
Okay.
All right. So we know land navigation, right? If anybody's familiar with land navigation, you use azimuth, distance, elevation. You don't ever factor in spherical Earth math, right? No matter how far you go, it's just not there. It's not in any official documentation. It's not factored in. It doesn't exist. So,
cool.
Dead reckoning. You got direction and distance, right? All right, go ahead.
Oh, lovely. Next one, slide 20. Oh my goodness, the assumptions.
Okay, so here's where we started getting into the and you can find all kinds. So I didn't have the time. I kind of ran out of time, but there's all kinds of aeronautical engineering manuals that straight up tell you these are based on Earth, flat Earth, non-rotating, and that's what all their math is based upon. So now I know you're going to come in and explain why and this and that and this and that. All the point is that it's not there. The math doesn't support a sphere or a rotation. All right.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Slide 21, the engineering analysis and design of the aircraft dynamics model for the FFA target generation facility, which in that very manual, it says that the Earth is rotating and is a sphere, but carry on.
It does. I know, that's what I'm saying. So when these manuals, if they can mention it, they can draw diagrams and they can have illustrations and references to it, but the actual math to calculate the actual engineering or the maneuvers or whatever is not there. It doesn't exist. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Everybody would know what it is. Everybody would be in agreement. You would have the references.
Why would everyone know what it is, though? Why would a school teacher that teaches kindergarten kids have to know the official curvature formula? Not that there is such a thing. Why would?
There's not. You're the one that put it there. You
no. There's just no such thing as an official curvature formula. What I gave you, what I gave you is how to calculate the hidden drop on any sphere.
Right.
That's what I gave you. There is no official curvature formula because there isn't an official answer to 1 + 1 = 2. It's just 2, you know. But anyway, we'll carry on. Slide 22. Oh my! You're actually citing the measurement of the curve, but cool.
So this was the one you use. You use this one a lot, right? And in your own manual, they had 182 miles line of sight to deal with, was their words, right? So I know you're gonna cite triangles and there's more than 180 degrees and XYZ. Got it, but you still got to deal with 182 miles of line of sight. This was back in 1900.
Yeah.
So I don't. Who knows how far we can see now? But okay, all right, let's go.
I just want to tell you that they were at different elevations and measuring to different elevation points. So seeing 182 miles would be absolutely no problem at a certain elevation. I just find it really funny that you have literally cited one of the calculations of the curvature of the Earth as evidence that there is no curvature of the Earth, and how fucking hilarious that is. But
all right.
Well, right, before we move on, I need to ask you one thing about this, okay? The transcontinental triangulation American arc of the parallel gave the answer that, the Earth's radius is approximately 6,000 kilometers, whatever it is, but the thing is, so did all of the other teams around the world throughout history. The ones that measured across India, the ones that measured across Asia, across Europe, across Southern America, across Great Britain. They all came up with the same thing, that based on their measurements, this is the radius of the Earth. So how could
Yeah.
all of these people individually who had never met each other, existed at different points throughout history, all come to the same conclusion based on empirical measurements?
Right. So I don't even dispute that.
Well, then what are we here for? The Earth's a
Tyler,
globe. They measured it.
No. Because see, that's why I started with the few slides that I started with. Because a circle, so you can have a plate, right? If you measure halfway, your dinner plate is a circle, right? It's flat.
Yeah, but that's not
You
what
have
they.
a radius.
That's
You
not
have a
what they
radius.
measured.
Yeah,
They,
you don't know that.
no, we do.
How are you
because
going to say that?
because of what they actually did. Because they measured
Anybody that says radius.
the radius
Sorry, go
of
ahead.
a radius of a sphere can be measured by calculating the distance on the outside of that sphere, and that's what they did.
Circle.
And it was a
circle.
It would no that they don't use a great circle for the doing
Yes, they
geodetic
do.
measurements.
Yes, they do.
No, no. Geodetic measurements are actually measurements of elevation points that they then put together to see what the overall measurement is. Okay, and the overall measurements gave that there is a curvature of the Earth, and if you calculate the curvature of the Earth, the radius of that sphere would be what they calculated as. That's what and you know that it can't be a flat circle because all of their measurements had angles that triangles that added up to greater than 180 degrees.
And
so you are literally citing things that prove the Earth is a globe.
It's negative.
I mean, you're going won't be accepted. The results, the results of it, the results of it were that the Earth has a radius, it is a sphere, and it has a radius.
A circle.
No. That's not what they measured. They didn't measure the Earth as a circle. They measured the Earth as a sphere with a radius, not a circle. It wasn't a flat plane. It was a sphere. That's what all the measurements, the one that you have on screen right now that you are citing, say that the Earth is a sphere, not flat.
Negative. So you're saying,
No. You can't just say negative. That's what the people that did the measurements concluded, that the Earth was a sphere. All right? If you are citing something, the conclusion of the thing you are citing says that it is a sphere. Okay?
Show me where that says the Earth is a sphere in that manual.
In all of them it does. When you add up all the calculations together, that's what you get. You don't get a flat plane. You get a sphere with a radius.
Circles have radiuses.
Yeah, but they didn't calculate a flat plane. They calculated a sphere.
Okay, but look, this is why you have that 182-mile line of sight, and then you're still saying it's a sphere. You can't have it both ways.
No, you absolutely can. No. They absolutely can, based on elevation. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll go into the transcontinental triangulation, American arc of the parallel, and we will look for that 182 line of sight measurement, what one that was, and we will see if it should be able to be seen. I will guarantee you that there is no issue with seeing that 182 miles based on the elevation of where they got that data point from. You are citing something. You are citing something that says the Earth is a sphere. Just be aware of that. No, you are. The conclusion of it is that the Earth is a sphere, not flat.
That's not what it concluded.
No, it absolutely is. You can't argue with the people that did it. Okay, they have to work with something called a spherical excess. Geodetic surveyors all know the Earth is a sphere because that's what they measure, and I can show you more measurements from. No, you can't just keep saying negative. All right, that's as stupid as you just put in little laughy emojis whenever someone presents something that you don't like. Okay, every time you do that, you lose. You can't just say negative. The conclusion to the document you are citing is that the Earth is a sphere. End of discussion. If you are using this, you admit the Earth is a sphere.
Negative.
Every time you do that, you lose. Just letting you know.
All right.
Every time.
Okay. All right.
Next one.
All right.
Okay, it's up.
Okay, so here's the contradiction, right? And so I think, Fight, you said you had real world math, and then your other boy that runs the channel says there is no sphericity or rotation factored into, he says many calculations.
Many calculations, absolutely.
Right. Okay, so I just wanted to see, somebody said 8 inches per mile squared for short distance.
Just a quick question. Have you any idea where the whole 8 inches per square mile came from?
I have no clue.
Okay, it was a flat earther that actually brought that to the argument about the Earth shape, right?
Yeah,
a flat
I don't care
earther
about any of that.
who, reading, I think it was in the Encyclopedia Britannica under the heading leveling, he misinterpreted what it said and then started telling everybody that, oh, we should see 8 inches per mile squared, but we don't. Whereas that obviously isn't the calculation for calculating the curvature of a sphere because it's a parabola, not a fucking circle. So it actually came from a flat earther not understanding something.
Okay, so is it accurate for short distances? Because
it's accurate-ish for under 1,000 miles, maybe, but it's never going to be completely 100% accurate because it's a parabola and not a circle.
Okay, well, there wasn't 8 inches anything during the Bloodhound record land speed setting, so that didn't even exist in a short distance.
We're going to need to go to the actual positions and look at where it is to prove you wrong there.
All right, cool.
All right, next one. Okay, before you read this page, I just want to say that...
I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read it.
It's misleading to say that NASA research papers admit flat and non-rotating because not one of them says the Earth is flat and non-rotating. They assume stuff like you need to be explained why things are assumptions in models. No document ever says the Earth is flat and non-rotating, so that's an outright lie what you have there.
Okay, I didn't write it.
All right, next one.
Let me ask you a question about that real quick. I'd like to ask a question about that. Okay, so also in these documents, especially in the target identification documents, whatever it was called, the air traffic controller one, they also make the statement that to assume that the aircraft is rigid. Okay, so why do they say that?
Why do they say the aircraft is rigid?
Why do they make the assumption?
Yes. Why do they make the assumption that the aircraft is rigid when in those models?
I mean, I know the answer you're looking for simplification, right? And so I can agree with that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, aircraft aren't rigid.
Okay, well then why? Hold on. But why do you have the cognitive dissonance? Hold on. But why do you have the cognitive dissonance to say that they make that statement in an effort to make it simple for training purposes? But they don't make that statement to make it simple for training purposes when they're talking about the flat and non-rotating Earth. Because they only say assume. They don't say, hey, it is flat and non-rotating. They say assume it's flat and non-rotating because it is easier for training purposes.
Right. So there's a big difference between a rigid aircraft and a moving target, right? So you're going to have to factor in all kinds of math if the Earth is actually rotating and there's sphericity involved. If the plane's rigid, the plane is rigid. Even if it's not, you're still not, you don't got to change the actual math of your trajectory, speed.
So you're making the assumption there that planes need to calculate the rotation of the Earth and stuff.
Excuse me?
You're making the assumption that pilots need to, be able to calculate the rotation of the Earth and things.
Well, obviously they don't. No, they don't because it's not there.
Well, no, why would they? You're making the assumption that they would need to. Why would they need to?
Because if you have a moving target, you always have to adjust. You can't just say, oh, well, we're going to pretend like that target is stationary. And
You know the difference between a ballistic and a powered projectile?
Somewhat.
I'll take that as a no. Okay, anyway, moving on.
All right, let's go.
All right, so more out of context quote lining. Cool.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hey, I didn't write these sources. This is from official documents. That's what I said I would present, and that's what's here. So it is what it is. Somebody said, "Oh, you're misinterpreting." This is just information that anybody can go out there and look up themselves.
Okay, next one.
I didn't rewrite any of this or nothing like that. All right, you can go to the next one.
Okay, all right. Slide 27. Okay, no trickery, misinterpretation. Is that what you want from me?
Yeah.
I don't need to do any of that. I just
No.
I
I'm
have
saying
cold
for
hard
me.
facts.
I'm saying for me. I'm not like I'm not any tricks or nothing like that. It's just the evidence that I got, and that's what I'm presenting.
Okay. Real world math, science, and engineering. Okay. The challenge: show where a 15-degree rotation or curvature formula of your choosing is factored into any real-world engineering mathematically.
Right, and so this is the
that's quite
the
easy.
challenge. Right. Okay. Well, okay, but it's got to be like an official document where they're actually using it in the real world.
Cool. Have you heard of the Venice Narrows
Golden
Bridge?
Gate Bridge.
Golden Gate Bridge.
The what?
The Venice Narrows Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, any of the LIGO installations. All of these have real-world calculations that take the curvature of the Earth into account.
Right. So that's what
I don't understand the issue.
If that's true, I want to see it in black and white. And if that's true, there would be no confusion on what the curvature is or how you factor.
I mean, there is. Let's be clear. Let's be clear, Lorenz. There is no issue on what the curvature is. All there is flat earthers not understanding pretty basic maths and physics. I mean, there's so many kind of misunderstandings and misinterpretations in what you presented there, and I don't want to insult you, but it's because you don't know physics. You don't understand physics. You don't. So that's why you present things like the NASA papers that make assumptions without understanding why they're making the assumptions and what a model is and things like that. So
right, but it's still not there. You can say what it is. You
right,
can say,
so
hey, you don't.
Let's start with to start with. You said, oh well, it's not in any real world documentation, military manuals, blah blah blah. To start with, it's in many military manuals. Manuals.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. For instance, the FT155AM3 for factoring in corrections due to the rotation of the Earth. So
Negative.
I'm showing it to you right now.
Yeah, and we've already talked about this.
No, we haven't. I've just presented it.
Yeah.
Why would they have maths that is based on a rotating Earth in an official military document? No, don't say no. I'm showing you it now. This is math based on a rotating Earth.
Okay, if you say so.
No, not if I say so. It says it right there.
Where does it show how fast the Earth is rotating?
Well, what it shows you is corrections you have to make based on the Coriolis force. Which, if you extrapolated that data out, you would get the rotation of 15 degrees per hour.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Does it say 15 degrees in this manual anywhere?
It doesn't need to. It shows that the deflection that you would need to calculate for due to the Coriolis force based on the Earth rotating at 15 degrees per hour. The maths is there right in front of you.
No.
They don't need hold on. No, they don't need to put in the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour. What they need to put in is the pertinent information. Now, if the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour, that means that at these distances that these projectiles would be fired, they would need to make a calculation due to the Coriolis force. All right? That is there. Why are the calculations due to the Coriolis force based on an Earth rotating at 15 degrees per hour there if it doesn't exist? Don't just go negative or no. I am showing you the math right now.
Okay, so we already talked about this. If you're on a flat circle, right, like your dinner plate, right, and you've got the, you don't have it up right now, but if you had one of those flat Earth models, right, if you see they actually curve around the flat plane, right? So your plate where you have the different countries, right? So obviously you're going to have to adjust based on where you're at longitudinally or latitudinally.
No. This is based on rotation.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
On where they're actually, no, it's based on latitude. Watch.
No. It's based on rotation because if they shoot at a certain position, shut up. If they shoot at a certain location, they will miss. And that's a straight line of sight shot, right? They have to change where they're aiming at because there is a deflection caused by the Coriolis force.
Yeah, that's not it.
Can you please present the math to back that up? Why, when they...
Yeah, I just told you.
No, you just said something that makes absolutely no sense. Why would they have to adjust, and why would the amount that they have to adjust change based on the latitude?
Because of where they're at on the actual flat
No, that
plate.
doesn't make sense.
That
doesn't make any sense. No, this is based on rotation. This is based on rotation. Yes, it is. It's based on the conservation of momentum due to rotation. That is what these calculations are based on.
Negative.
No, you can't just say negative. That's not how this works.
Look, I'm telling you. Look.
I don't care what you're telling me. The military that made this document disagree with you.
Okay, so where does it say 15 degrees per hour?
If you do the math to extrapolate the data there, you will get a rotating body of 25,000 miles in circumference rotating at 15 degrees per hour. That is what the math will give you.
Okay, so you're saying that NASA themselves say that they don't have to accommodate for
this is nothing to do. This is nothing to do with NASA. This is nothing to do with NASA.
It does. That's long.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking about NASA. I'm not talking. Nate, stop over talking me. I am not talking about NASA. I am talking about this military manual for shooting artillery that tells you have to factor in corrections because of the rotation of the Earth.
They can say anything they want. They don't have anything to back it up. The actual.
Yeah, they absolutely do. The maths based on a rotating frame. There is no reason you will get a deflection on a flat plane. None at all. Absolutely none.
Yeah.
No, there isn't. Why would it deflect? Right. Okay. No. Answer me this then. Okay. If what you're saying is true, why, if you're at the equator firing north, would it deflect to the right? But if you were in the southern hemisphere firing south, would it deflect the other way?
Well, okay, so remember how we talked about it. Depending on where you're at on the flat circle, you're going to either have more or less room to maneuver your artillery, right? So of course you're going to have to adjust. Otherwise, it's going to go either to the ocean, into the ocean.
No.
Right?
If you, depending on which way you fire, you have to adjust a different way. But if you're shooting along the equator, all right, here's the killer, all right? If you're shooting, say, along the equator from west to east, you also have to factor in adjustments due to the rotation of the Earth. But you don't have to adjust left to right. You have to adjust up or down. Because at the equator, along the rotation of the equator, the Coriolis force causes a deflection above the Earth if it's the direction of rotation, or down towards the Earth if it's against the rotation. Okay, so how does your magic explanation answer that?
Same way. Yeah,
no, it doesn't make any sense. Why is there?
Does.
Why? No. You're on the equator. Why, if you fire west, does it deflect up? But if you fire east, does it deflect down? Every time. What does turning 180 degrees make a difference? Please tell me.
Well, okay, so obviously, if you're going, say, around a clock, the face of a clock, you lay your clock down, right? If you're going clockwise, right, the way the clock rotates, then obviously if you turned around and you fired the same direction, you're going to go off to the right. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I mean, it makes absolutely no sense at all. You have to remember that a clock hand is rotating. There is no reason why, if the Earth is flat and non-rotating, that at the equator, if you fire west, it will deflect... Wait... Team, it'll deflect down if you fire west, right? Team, you still there?
He left you hanging, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I had the mic muted while I was interacting with chat and whatnot. Now, what is the question?
If you're at the equator and you fire west in the direction of rotation, the projectile will deflect down, right? Or is it up?
Yes, that's correct.
Down. And if you fire east, it will deflect up.
The target will rise.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
The
target will rise, right?
Deflect down.
Yeah. So on the flat non-rotating plane, why, if you are at the equator firing one way, will it deflect down, but you fire the other, it deflects up? What's going to cause that?
Okay. So like if you're firing east, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, if you fire east, it's going to go down below the where you're aiming at. But if you fire west, it's going to deflect up towards the sky.
It's going to deflect up towards the sky.
Yeah, it's going to go up towards the sky.
No, it's not.
No, it does. That's what these calculations are included in here. That is an effect of the Coriolis force because of the fact the Earth. Yeah. It's these are calculations and adjustments that you have to make, and on here it includes the fact that if you're at the equator, you would have to do that. That's all included in these calculations, right? And these calculations are based on the Coriolis force, and the Coriolis force says that at the Earth, at the equator of the Earth, that if you fire with the rotation, it will deflect up towards the sky, and if you fire against the rotation, it will deflect down towards the ground. because of the conservation of momentum. How do you explain that?
What happens if you fire north or south?
If you fire north from the equator, it will deflect ahead of the rotation, so to the right. If you fire south from the equator, it will deflect behind the rotation of the Earth, so from the way you're looking at it to the left, because the conservation of momentum. Yeah. To the right,
or to the right?
But it will go the opposite way in the southern hemisphere. So it will deflect, if you're firing down, it will deflect against, it will go behind the Earth's rotation.
Okay.
Well, ahead of the Earth's rotation, but from your point of frame, it will deflect the other way. It's always going. If you're firing from an area, so at the equator, right? You've got a tangential speed of approximately 1,000 miles an hour, right?
No, I guess.
Okay, which means that if you fire the projectile south, you fire it into an area of less tangential speed, right? But that projectile, it carries that momentum of that 1,000 mile an hour tangential speed as it moves into an area of less tangential speed. So if you fire it south, it's going to deflect ahead of the rotation based on the way that you're looking, right? So it's gonna go, you know, if you're looking at a globe head on, it's going to go left. But then if you fire it north, it's going to do the same. Right. It's going to move into an area of less tangential speed, maintain its momentum that it had when it was fired at the equator, and deflect ahead of the rotation, so to the right if you're looking at the Earth.
Yeah, that doesn't happen in reality.
No, it absolutely does, and that's why this document has these corrections that you have to take into account.
Yeah, nobody in the military ever said, "Hey, we got to make sure that we account for Earth's curvature and rotation." That's not a thing.
I can tell you that's 100% inaccurate. Team, do you want to see if Schrodinger's cat's available? Because he could, as he's someone that used to do that.
What did he used to do?
Well, Schrodinger's cat, he's done sniping and stuff at long distances, and Yeah. So basically,
you guys are being pretty cordial with each other. So I'm just paying attention to the chat right now. So when you ask me a question, I got to be informed on what the question is.
So Lorenz is making the claim that no one in the military has ever had to take the Earth's rotation into account when firing an artillery shower or anything. Even though I'm showing him
see if he's available.
Yeah, I'm literally showing him the document that has the corrections that you have to make. Why does this document exist if no one has ever had to make an adjustment?
And like I said, depending on whichever way you're actually faced, depending on the terrain, then obviously you're going to have to make adjustments based on the actual trajectory.
No, you don't understand what's happening. It is literally deflecting, right? So if you were looking at the projectile that you were firing in front of you, it wouldn't go straight forward. It would, from your point of view, it would go forward and deflect to the right. All right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening, and no amount of having to adjust for where you are is going to cause the projectile to actually deflect. And you can do the maths to calculate how much it will deflect based on the latitude that it's fired from.
Right. Okay.
So again, why does the manual with the calculations for the corrections to make based on the rotation of the Earth exist? Because you said it doesn't. I've just shown you that it does.
Right. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say anything about 1,040 miles an hour, 50
doesn't need to.
An hour. It says they're going to make some
Oh my goodness me.
Based on the direction that the fire.
Not based on the direction, based on the rotation, because there is a deflection to the projectile. Do you understand what I mean by a deflection?
You're saying based on what direction you're firing. Are you talking about direction? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Right. So let's say you're behind the artillery cannon, right, and you're firing it straight forward, right? If you're at the equator.
Yeah, you're firing it straight.
Yeah. If you're at the equator and you're behind that cannon firing it, and you watch the projectile leave your cannon and go forward, it's not going to go straight forward. It's going to go forward and to the right. It's going to deflect to the right because of the rotation of the Earth. It's going to maintain its momentum and rotate and move ahead of the rotation of the Earth. That happens, and that is why this manual exists. Don't say it doesn't, because I'm showing it to you.
Yeah, that is like.
It's a fact. I'm showing it to you right now.
No, it's not. It has nothing. Nobody says, "Hey, we got to factor in the rotation of the Earth." That doesn't happen in the military.
I mean, it says it right now.
It
let me.
doesn't.
Okay. Well, okay. So this is a little bit off of what we're talking about. I'm finally understanding what I'm looking at that God's Auditor was sending me. This is actual real world usage of curvature for for estimation of road center lines, like when they create maps and stuff like that, like Google Maps or maps for your car, for instance, like your
Right.
your GPS and everything. They actually
Yeah.
have to take into account the curvature because it's not flat. Therefore, the road, being that it's curved, if it's not, like if it's not following a great circle, for instance, then it's going to have a slight deviation. Like the center line will not remain center; it will have a slight deviation, and they've got to take that into account. That's what I'm looking at right now, and it's a documented.
Do you want to
paper
put that on
that
screen if you're able?
Yeah, give me 1 second to get it up there.
That's what she said.
But it's a lot of information. It's a lot of information, y'all. So.
And
Yeah.
as Team Skeptic is talking, guys, if you are a member or if you want to become a member, you can use the emoji of Team Skeptic in a mankini. I'm sorry about that, but you can do it. So yeah.
She's not
Use the
sorry.
laugh emoji.
Yeah, you need to stop doing that, Messiah,
I'm getting
because
the,
it makes you look really silly. Sorry, Lorenz.
Okay, give me almost ready.
yeah.
Almost ready. Almost ready.
Right, I just want Team to bring this up
And
for
God's
you.
Auditor is the one who, God's Auditor is the one who submitted this information. So give him.
Yeah,
the
I
credit
see it
for
now
its
in
due.
Discord, God's Audio. It's really hard to concentrate on that whilst producing as well. My bad.
Yeah. So. Yeah, this
So
is
what are you looking at?
comes from ResearchGate.net. This is the estimation of road center
ResearchGate.
line curvature from raw GPS data that takes into account the curvature of the Earth when developing maps used for GPS.
Yeah. So
It's
you
all
said
the math. I'm saying it's a lot of information to take in, but
But that's just the place
yeah.
where this
I'll
paper
give you
is.
here. Hold on. Yeah, let me. I'm gonna actually share that to you inside of the chat. Let me send it to Fight, and Fight can send it to you.
All right.
There's the actual.
But,
there's the
okay,
actual website right there.
Yeah.
There's 26 references, 3
So yeah,
citations.
I remember reading
You can
about
download
it. It
everything.
literally takes
It's
raw.
free.
It
free,
takes raw
Yeah.
GPS data and maps out data points, and shows you that the Earth is curved based on those data points.
Right.
I'm sure if we went
Yeah.
through this
So, like,
programming
this-
right here, we could find the actual.
Well-
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, sorry. This was exactly what I was talking about in my opening statement. Right. You can show all the formulas you want and all the math you want, but if it doesn't actually apply or isn't applied in reality, then it's just it's formulas. You know?
But no, it's
They show me the formulas.
Literally
empirical
applied
data.
in reality.
Yeah, it's empirical data.
Where?
This
It's
is
not just
literally
formulas.
being used.
Yeah, they use this data from
go ahead, I'm
GPS, the raw data from GPS, to
Yeah,
create
we're not-
data, to create data points, to create maps,
Yeah, we're not
right?
gonna-
And these data points show that the Earth is a curve, is a sphere. It doesn't show that it's flat. This is
Right, so
empirical
is it-
data. It's not just formulas.
where-
it is actual
where,
measurements,
though?
empirical data.
No, like where though?
Where? What do you mean where?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So
where?
if you say, so you said right here, so you said it's like an actual sphere, right? You're saying
Yeah.
digital curve. So first of all, you see the word digital curve there, so it's going to be a projection, right, or a simulation. Keep
What?
going. Yeah. Look,
Digital curve.
keep going.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm
right there,
looking for
keywords,
that
digital curve.
Okay.
Right there, you see it?
Do you know what a digital curve is? Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Now I
Keywords.
see it. Now I see it. Now. Okay.
Yeah, you see it?
I was
Yeah,
just trying to
right.
see
Okay,
where
so
you were
again-
seeing that, but now
yeah,
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, over,
But what about
yeah,
circular
3D
arc?
Uh-huh. Yeah, no,
That's
it's not
pretty. If you're going to be pulling words out of there, if you're going to pull digital curve, I'm going to pull circular arc out of it too.
Yeah.
it. Yeah, circular. I like
Alright,
circular.
so-
I can do circular. All right.
Right.
So
My
somebody
God.
else try. Go ahead.
Right.
Go
So
ahead.
basically, I've
That's a lot.
I've proven that you're wrong by saying that there isn't manuals that take the curvature, rotation, etc. into account. There
I still
absolutely
haven't-
is. I've just shown you
I
it.
still-
It literally says here. I mean, I might have to read it out for you. Maybe I need to
Yeah.
make this bigger.
Well, I already said that they can reference it, they can talk about it, but they still haven't actually said, "Hey, this rotational map is being factored in." They have different adjustments.
They have.
right?
It's literally here
Yeah,
in this thing that we're talking about.
Where does
So
it- where does it
let,
show?
let me
Where
just
does
read
it
it to
show?
you. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're hard of struggling to read or something. It says corrections to range in meters to compensate for the, and this is the important part, I want you to really pay attention here, rotation of the Earth, right? And then the math here that it shows you, right? All these calculations of adjustments you have to make are based on the Earth rotating at 15 degrees per hour and where your latitude is, and how much you need to compensate on that based on the rotation of the Earth and the Coriolis force. That's all here, right?
No, it's not. You just made that up.
What do you mean I just made it up? I'm showing it to you. How cognitive dissonance do you have to be? How much confirmation bias do you actually have to have when I am showing you the document right now with the math on it and you are still denying it?
Where does it show the actual speed of the rotation?
It doesn't need to. It shows you the calculations for corrections you need to make based on the rotation of the Earth. If the Earth didn't rotate, you wouldn't have to make these different adjustments based on your latitude and hemisphere and direction. All right? And there absolutely is no reason on your world why, like we were saying, the Coriolis force also causes deflection up and down towards the sky and towards the floor. All right?
Go back down again. Go back down. Can you go back down?
I'm down.
No, you're not. Oh, it's just taking a while. Okay.
Yeah, it's because you're watching the stream.
Right. So it says when entering from the top, use the sign before the number, right? When entering from the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Azimuth is marked clockwise. Okay.
Yes.
From north. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, it depends on where you're at. That's all.
Yeah, it depends on where you're at, and the reason for the deflection is because it's rotating. You still haven't explained why it would deflect to the right or the left. You just said, no, it doesn't, but there's a document here saying that it does, and you need to make corrections for it.
Yeah, all I'm saying is it doesn't actually give the actual curvature formula or
it
the
doesn't
rotational
need to.
formula. Yes, it does.
Why? It's not relevant.
Did you say that 15 degrees was the actual rotation of the Earth, right?
Yeah, that's a fact. It's been measured.
Where is that factored in mathematically? Now you're showing me different adjustments
based on a 15 degree. No, right. What you need to understand shut up. If the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour, at certain latitudes there will be certain adjustments that need to be made. Right? These are those adjustments. Don't deny it when it's right in front of you. Okay? It's there. It's undeniable. It's a fact. And more than that, the Earth's rotation has been measured. You know that, right? Let's just get right down to basics. The Earth's curve and the Earth's rotation has been measured.
Okay.
How is it it's been measured if it's not a curve or if it's not rotating? How have they been measured?
No, that's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying it. Facts say it. It's been measured.
That it's not applied in reality.
I mean, the Coriolis force disagrees.
Okay.
All those calculations. Now, let's stop just deflecting. It's been measured. How did they measure it if it's not rotating? It's a simple question, Lorenz. If the Earth's not rotating, how did they measure it?
Who measured it?
If the Earth is spinning one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And
there's emojis for this, guys.
If it's mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth. One of the people in the community actually purchased one for $20,000. But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift, a 15 degree per hour drift. If the Earth is spinning...
Yeah, you can stop now, Bob. Thank you. So, it's not the fact that Bob measured it, right? He did he did something that is done by anyone in the world that turns on an interferometric gyroscope of any kind. every single interferometric gyroscope in the world picks up a 15-degree rotation, not just in one axis, but in 3 axes. That is only possible if it is on a 3-dimensional rotating body.
Right. Yeah, I got what you're saying. All I was looking for was that 15 degrees factored in reality, and I haven't found it.
I just showed you
presented
it. This is it.
No.
It's factored in. That 15-degree
No,
rotation
yeah,
is the cause of these calculations.
No.
Do I need to do the math for you?
If you want.
It'd take quite a while. How's your basic algebra and calculus?
Oh, it's awesome.
I don't know if I agree with that. So,
Hey, if you have a triangle with sides 1, 1, and 1, what are the internal angles?
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be 60 degrees.
Okay.
it's supposed to be, or it is?
A little bit.
Yeah, depends, right? If it's on a sphere, it's going to be more, right?
Yes.
What's it going to be on a sphere?
What's the maximum it could be on a sphere?
What's the max? What's the maximum it can be on a sphere?
Is it 540?
Wow, look at you.
I mean,
420. Somebody said 420.
Then how can
That's a good one.
I believe it?
right. So yeah, the fact that there is a 15-degree rotation is the cause of these adjustments. Okay, this is where it's factored in real life. You don't need to put on here the Earth's rotating at 15 degrees, therefore per hour, therefore you need to do this. All that's important for the people with this document is knowing how much they need to make adjustments based on where they are. All right. Okay. Why it's happening isn't important. Right. They don't need to put that in. That would confuse the average soldier, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, they don't need to understand how to do the calculations to what the adjustment should be based on the conservation of momentum. All right. These adjustments are because of the 15-degree rotation. This is it factored into real world. End of discussion.
Yeah, I'd have to look at it.
Okay. Well, the rotation's been measured. All right. I've just told you that the rotation's been measured. We watched the video with Bob explaining how it is measured. How do you explain the fact that it's been measured?
So,
what causes that 15-degree rotation that is measurable?
Yeah, if that's a real world a measurement, then
oh, it is.
No, you saying it is, but it's not factored in reality. You haven't shown it factored into reality. So you're saying that there's a 15-degree rotation.
Stop saying that. When I have done, it's here. Okay.
No.
Yeah. That's it factored into reality. You don't need to ask. Well, the Great Circle calculations, the Hammond calculations for Great Circle are based on a sphere. Only work on a sphere. So
nobody says sphere. Nobody says sphere in the military, and we.
You don't need to say it when all you need to know is the adjustments that are made, and here's the real world math factored in because of a 15-degree rotation. Right. So I don't care if you see it or not. It's there. Now answer the question: how did we measure the rotation of the Earth if it isn't rotating?
I don't know. Is it computerized?
No.
It's not computerized.
I mean, it's a laser, but I can show you it.
Right.
I can show you a measurement done without any technology. It's quite easy. All right, but the fact is, it's been measured. Right? Don't start trying to attack the evidence. Address the evidence. How did we measure? How did we measure a 15-degree rotation per hour if the Earth isn't rotating?
If it existed, it would be factored into real-world engineering.
It is. I've shown you.
No,
now,
it's not.
Now answer the question. How did we measure the 15-degree rotation per hour if it's not rotating?
It's a computerized simulation.
No, it's not. It's an interferometric fiber gyroscope, 3 of which are on every modern aircraft in the world that required to, so it doesn't crash into mountains and shit. Okay, but I can let me get you the video of it being measured with some. Oh, here we go. Perfect. I've got that there.
In the North Pole.
So this guy is called the Gentleman Physicist, and to measure the Earth's rotation, he built his own very technologically limited Foucault's pendulum. Okay, in a local high-rise building. Let's get to where and he let the Foucault's pendulum swing for as long as it could. It's about 45 minutes. All right. Now,
Okay.
if the Earth is rotating, based on his latitude, there should be a certain degree drift that the pendulum will induce over a certain amount of time, right? That would be an effect of the Coriolis force. It would make the pendulum drift. Okay? What you find is that after he let it go for a long, long time, there was a drift. All right? Now, to prove that this works, they then measured the angle of the drift. Okay? So let me just pause that there. So you can see that the pendulum, the actual plane of oscillation has changed, right? So what they did then was they measured the angle of how much it had changed. And they did some math, right? Now, if the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour, based on his latitude, right, they would be able to do a calculation with that angle to actually figure out what his latitude is, right? It's some very simple math, right? So if the Earth is rotating, it will make the pendulum drift a certain amount based on latitude. And you will be able to use that angle that you get to actually calculate your latitude. And that's exactly what they did. Using the angle that this very simple device created, they were able to calculate their latitude on the Earth. And that will work for anywhere on the planet. All right? It will even rotate a different direction based on if you're in the northern or southern hemisphere. Okay? How did this happen if the Earth isn't rotating?
What's he using?
It's a big cement block with some metal wire around it, attached with some fishing wire to a pivot point.
Yeah. So here's my thing: is like you can use whatever you want to go out and do whatever type of measurements and experiments, right? But if the math doesn't support curvature,
but the math does support it.
No, it doesn't.
Well, then how did he calculate his latitude if the math doesn't support it?
How did he calculate his latitude?
Yeah, that's what I just told you. Purely based on the angle that they got, all right? Nothing else. Based on the angle that they got and the direction of rotation, they were able to do some math and calculate their latitude on the Earth. And it was right. How did that happen if the Earth isn't rotating?
Are you saying they didn't know where they were to begin with?
No, they knew where they were. And they used purely the angle that it created to calculate what their latitude should be. And it matched.
Yeah.
How does that happen if the Earth's not rotating?
So did their position change?
No, their position didn't change. The plane of oscillation of the pendulum did.
How did it not change if they're rotating?
Why would their position on the Earth change? They're on the Earth.
Okay.
What do you mean, did their position change? They're standing in a high-rise building with a pendulum swinging backwards and forwards. What don't you get about this?
They're stationary, right?
Yeah, but the plane of oscillation of the pendulum wasn't. Why did that happen?
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure that you said they're stationary.
Well, yeah, they're inside a fucking building. Is the building on wheels or something? What the fuck, brother? Seriously, what's wrong with... Explain how this happens. Right? This is an empirical measurement that anyone in the world can do. That if you do the calculations, you will figure out your latitude on the Earth. And if the Earth is rotating, that is a physical thing that we should expect to happen. We expect it to happen, we measure it happening, we test it happening, we prove that it is the cause of what we say it is. It is the Earth rotating that causes that apparent deflection of a projectile, of the change of oscillation, the plane of oscillation of a pendulum. These things are caused by the Earth rotating. Right? It is what we expect to happen, and it does happen. Explain that if the Earth is not rotating.
I mean, I just saw him swinging a rock back and forth.
Yeah.
So I don't see how that factors into reality.
He was able to calculate his latitude, and it was right. How did that happen if the Earth isn't rotating?
Let me ask you this: is anybody going to use his experiment in reality?
Anyone could. You could
But
actually,
they're not going to.
if you want, okay, for instance, if you didn't know where you were on Earth and you needed to calculate your latitude, you could do that. But whether someone would do it or not isn't the problem. That's not how science works, okay? You come up with a hypothesis based on an observation, and then you figure out a way to test it, okay? So let's talk about what happened here. An observation that this guy made is that, well, the Earth appears to be rotating based on my observations of the sky. So my hypothesis is that we are on a rotating globe. Now, how do we test that? Okay, well, if we are on a rotating globe that is rotating at 15 degrees per hour with the circumference that we say it has, there should be an effect that we find in a pendulum. That effect should be that the plane of oscillation of the pendulum should change based on my latitude. Now, I say this is my latitude, and so does all the maps and everything that I'm on. So we should get this particular angle from the change of the plane of oscillation. So we test to see if that happens, right? And it does happen. Yeah. Therefore, it confirms our hypothesis. All right. So
yeah. So I got what you're saying. Okay. So
therefore, the Earth's rotating.
Really, no, that's not it. So look, depending on where you're at, even like we talked about, if you're on a flat plate, right, and you know what angle you're supposed to be at, and you swing something back and forth, of course it's going to register at that angle. That's where you're at.
No, the angle is changing.
How is it changing? You said it's moving with him. You said that they're moving together. How would the angle change?
I don't know how to make this more simple. Right. Let's go back through what's happening. Okay. So.
Right.
He burns this rope to let it start swinging. All right.
Yeah. Right. So okay, let's put this into context. Let's say the Earth was flat and stationary. Let's just put it like there. Okay. Now tell me what's going to change if it's rotating. Go ahead.
Right. So if the Earth is flat and stationary, once that pendulum starts swinging backwards and forwards, it would just swing backwards and forwards, right? It wouldn't change its relative position, right? But if the Earth is rotating and his latitude is what he says it is, then the pendulum will not just swing backwards and forwards. It will deflect. There will be an angle that you can measure, right, based on that deflection. So that's what happens, right? They let it swing backwards and forwards for about 47 minutes. And this little paintbrush goes through this little ink pot as it swings backwards and forwards. Now, over that time, that line that it was drawing created an angle. The angle grew based on the amount of time, right? So once you have, say it went for an hour, right? Over an hour, you would see what the angle was. And then you could do some basic trigonometry. I think it's arc sine over t to get what the latitude is. But based on the angle that you get from the amount that is changed, you can calculate your latitude. If the Earth's flat and stationary, there's no reason why it would go backwards and forwards and then change the direction it's swinging. But if the Earth is rotating, that is what we expect to happen. And it does.
Yeah, that's not it.
Please back that up.
Okay, so if you have momentum, of course it's going to change based on how much you started losing momentum, right?
Yeah, but why is it then going to not go backwards and forwards? Why is it going to start going to the left or the right? And why does that amount that it goes to the left or right change based on your latitude? If you're at the equator, all right, you wouldn't get a deflection at all, right? If you're at the poles, it will, in 24 hours, do one entire rotation. Either pole, south or north pole, right?
So you're saying this is the same thing. What would happen on the North Pole?
You would get a rotation clockwise, 360-degree rotation in 24 hours. If you were at the South Pole, you would get a anti-clockwise 360 degrees in 24 hours. If you're at the equator, there will be no change in plane of oscillation. If you are at 45 degrees latitude, you will get a 180 degrees change in oscillation over 24 hours.
Okay. So again, everything that you're saying sounds good in theory, but it's
not in theory. It's a fact. It's reality. It's in front of you.
It's showing me a guy in a basement swinging a rock. That's
not in a basement. He's in a block of flats. He's doing something that anybody can repeat. Right, and you're not answering the question of how, using nothing but the angle that he got, he was able to accurately calculate his latitude.
His position, right?
His latitude.
You said doesn't change. Right.
Yeah, your latitude's not going to change. So how, based on that angle alone, was he able to calculate his latitude?
It's because it's where he was. I don't know. I don't know what you're asking, really, honestly.
What do you mean it's where he was?
Wherever
I'm going to
he
keep pushing
was,
you
he's
on
gonna
this. Why?
No, I know,
Why
but
does the
wherever-
position that he's in have anything to do with how much it would deflect if the Earth is flat and stationary?
Okay, so hold on. This angle right there. Oh, wait.
Oh, let me put it back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this angle, 7.89 degrees, okay? That's the angle that he measured. That is how much the plane of oscillation changed in, I think it was the 47 minutes that they allowed it to swing for.
Okay.
Right.
So where did it start and where did it end? To the bottom, it started there, and then
Yeah, it started on the
that
straight line. Have you not been watching? This is getting really tedious, all right? When it started, all right, it's just swinging backwards and forwards, all right, like that, drawing the line as it goes backwards and forwards. But then after 47 minutes, it's not going just backwards and forwards anymore. It's changed its plane of oscillation, all right?
Gotcha. Okay.
So what you do is you measure that angle, and based on that angle alone and the direction of the turn, you can calculate your latitude and your hemisphere on the Earth. There is no explanation for that if the Earth is flat and stationary. None at all.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what that is. But
It's empirical facts. The Earth's been
Nah,
measured to
some guy
rotate.
It's a guy swinging a rock in his basement.
Then answer how he was how he was able to calculate his latitude.
You would have because he already knew where he was. You said that already.
Yeah, but he didn't need. He calculated his latitude. He already knew where he was, but then he confirmed that knowledge by using that angle to calculate his latitude. It doesn't matter
Compared
that
to
he
what?
knew it already. The math matched the reality, Lorenz.
Right, but look,
the math matched the reality. That wouldn't happen if the Earth is flat and stationary. Do you understand that?
You said he's in a basement somewhere.
No, he's in a fucking stairwell in a fucking high-rise building. Are you not listening to anything I'm saying?
Yeah. So look, you have to put that on the actual Earth,
It is on the Earth.
right? It's in. You said he's in a high rise.
Yeah, and what's the high-rise attached to?
Who knows? Maybe it's floating in
The fucking ground, you moron.
All right. So look.
So, right, basically, the Earth's been measured to rotate. How have we measured the rotation if the Earth isn't rotating?
I don't know. I'd have to see it in reality. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so all right, well, let me ask you this then. Where's the measurements of Earth not rotating?
Everywhere. That's my point. That was
Oh, show me one.
argument.
Show me one.
It's everywhere.
Show
We
me
already
one.
talked about it.
No, actually, point me to a source right now that has measured the Earth to not rotate.
Oh, to not rotate?
Yeah.
All right. Did you pull up the NASA documents?
No, measured that the Earth is not rotating, not making an assumption for an engineering model. I want you to show me a measurement of the Earth not rotating.
A measurement of the Earth not rotating. Okay,
Yeah.
so go outside and measure, right?
Yeah, if I go outside with a tool to measure rotation, I'm going to measure rotation.
No, you won't. How?
I could just do this, that this guy was doing. I could just get an interferometric fiber optic gyroscope that would also show me that the Earth's rotating. Using the correct tools, you will measure that the Earth is rotating. So, once again, please show me a measurement of the Earth not rotating.
Measurement of the Earth not rotating.
Yeah, because I can show you lots of it actually measurements of it actually rotating. I've got a whole list of measurements of the Earth rotating using many different methods.
This is why we had this the opening claim, right? Because it's absent in every real world manual. So now you're saying
it's not.
You
It's
have
not. No. I've shown you that the rotation of the Earth is factored into real world manuals with the military thing. Stop going there and try and focus on the question. All right. The question is there a measurement of the Earth not rotating with a correct tool?
Everywhere.
You know?
Everywhere, all day, every day.
Show me one then. Point me to one. If it's all day, every day, please show me one.
Okay, hold on.
No, didn't think so.
I'll have to find it.
There isn't, frankly, because every time someone attempts to measure the rotation of the Earth, they measure the rotation of the Earth. Because it's easily measurable.
Okay.
Right? So, the Earth has been measured to have a curve. The Earth has been measured to rotate. What the fuck's wrong with
It's not factored into reality. It's not factored into reality.
Incorrect. I've shown you a manual where it is.
Nope.
Yes.
You showed me a manual that referred to it. It did not actually state that the Earth rotates at 15 degrees
It
per
shows
hour.
you the maths that is needed to counteract the rotation of the Earth.
It has adjustments.
Yes, because of the rotation of the Earth. It doesn't need to say the Earth rotates at 15 degrees per hour, therefore these are the adjustments that you need to make. It doesn't need to say that. It just needs to give you the adjustments that you need to make. But the math is there. And if you could do more than tie your shoelaces, then you could probably do the math yourself. Now, I need to ask you a serious question. How much physics have you taken in your life?
Physics?
Yeah.
Not much. No.
Right, okay. So why do you think that you're capable of debunking physics if you don't understand physics?
I'm not. I'm just presenting real-world official documentation.
Yeah, and so am I. I presented real-world documentation that shows the rotation of the Earth is taken into account. And all of the NASA, every single one of the NASA documents that you present actually state that the Earth is a sphere and it's rotating. So there isn't
the math that they use.
No.
Use is based on a flat stationary plane.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
the assumptions are there. However, the documents. No. They say, shut up. They say that it's assumptions, right? And in the very same documents, they say that the Earth is a sphere and it's rotating. And if you are going to NASA as evidence, then you are agreeing that the Earth is a sphere.
Negative.
Yes. NASA say the Earth is a sphere. If you are going to NASA for any kind of evidence, then you are agreeing the Earth is a sphere. Here's the Earth.
Negative.
Yes. No, you can't just say negative. NASA say the Earth is a sphere. Here is a picture of someone from NASA taking a... Sorry. Here's a picture that someone from NASA took of the Earth being a sphere.
Right.
Therefore...
It's propaganda.
No, it's a picture.
It's propaganda.
Please back that up with evidence.
Brainwashing propaganda, because there is
it's a picture that was taken.
There's no spherical math used in reality, period. People can go look it up. Go look it up.
Stop. No. Stop. I'm showing you a picture of the Earth.
That's not reality.
It was taken with a physical camera, so please back up what you're saying.
Sure it was.
It was. It was taken with a physical camera that was then developed in a darkroom. So...
Nope.
Yes.
So you remember the NASA, was it the NASA representative that was like, hey, we have to take bits and pieces of the Earth, so we got to patch them together.
For one, yeah. That was the 2000. Shut up. That was the 2012 Blue Marble. This was taken in 1972 and is not patched together. Is one entire picture.
Right. So in 2012 they had to patch it, but in 2000 or not 19, what is it? 1972 or 1973?
They didn't have to patch it, right? The reason he did that was because that was a high-resolution picture taken with a satellite that is closer to the Earth than these guys were when they were on the way to the moon. This is a single picture, but the resolution is nowhere near as much as you had in the 2012 Blue Marble, which was taken by satellites that were much closer, so could only image strips at a time.
Right.
Now, that one picture from 2012 is the only one that he was talking about when he said it's Photoshop, but it has to be. Yes, of course it had to be, because the satellite wasn't far enough away from the Earth to take a picture all at once. They wanted high-resolution, up-close images. Right? This picture that I am showing you was taken with a 70mm Hasselblad with an 80mm Zeiss lens. The picture, the film was then taken and developed in a darkroom. This is not something that was done with CGI, not something that was pieced together. It is one single photo taken with a physical camera.
That looks real to you?
Yes.
All right.
Does it not look real to you? Have you got any like qualifications in photo analysis to say that that doesn't look real?
Yeah,
we can test your ability to determine reality if you like.
How do we do that?
Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play real or not. Let me just get it up. That's what she said.
Sorry I dropped out there.
That's all right.
I had a moment of, I spazzed out for a moment and clicked close, and then I realized I couldn't just reopen my call.
Where?
My bad.
All right. Did
But
you
I
guys
was
have any other
listening in.
questions, or we're just gonna?
Yeah, I have a question. Why do you? No, I have a question. Why do you
Okay.
everything? Like you don't even accept it. You don't even try to address it. You just say no, negative. I mean, you've got to at some point you've got to address it. But let me ask you a question. What was your MOS in the army?
Go ahead.
What was your MOS?
I'd rather not say.
Okay, but you were military, right?
Potentially.
Okay. Yeah. I think you're a Poe. I think you're making this shit up, to be honest with you.
Wow.
In the most
I
polite
just
way,
presented-
yeah.
so
No, I
here's-
really do.
Look, but you can go look for yourself. That's my point. Is I don't. You can say whatever you want. You guys can try to explain it away.
I mean, I've debunked everything you said so far, but
No, it's not there. It's not there.
Well, let me bring
That's
up a
all I'm
point to you, okay? Hold on. Let me bring up a point to you. You seem intelligent, okay? And I'm not being condescending when I'm saying that. Hold on. Hear me out. You do seem like you are intelligent, okay? And when you're presenting your evidence, you're like, oh, I got this gotcha moment. But right in the gotcha moment, I already pointed out two things. I said, why did they use the fact that they say rigid? And you knew it. You knew exactly why. And so you can logically deduce that the same thing should be, applied to that, or could be, not should be, but could be applied to that. You're also smart enough to realize that the word assumption is there. So I know I'm making the assumption that you understand what assumption means. All right. So all that logically put together, and still you come to a different logical conclusion. And when you come to that different logical conclusion, it makes people like me ask, why do you come to this different logical conclusion when you've already walked yourself through the entire explanation? And the only way I can think of it is that you're blocked by you have some kind of mental, not disability, but what is it called? Like a mental block, that just won't let you get over that hump. And maybe that's the case. Or you're just choosing not to go over the hump because you want to maintain the position that you believe the earth is flat.
I just think the math it does not support a sphere. That's all I'm saying.
except all the measurements, of course, that supports a sphere. And I can show you an experiment done by people, pardon me, in our community that shows that the Earth is a sphere.
You can present experiments and everything else, but all I'm saying is, where are the people actually applying it in reality? That's all I'm saying.
And I've shown it to you.
No, you didn't show me 15-degree rotation in any manual.
That's what causes this, though.
You didn't show me an actual spherical equation in any official.
You don't need to, because it's not relevant.
Give me 1 second.
No, you just
give me 1 second. I'm going to find something for you. Go ahead. I'm going to pull up the a spherical measurement for you with real world application and everything from '76. So before.
All right.
Yes. Give me 1 second. Y'all continue on. I'll get the data pulled up real quick.
But you made the claim that that picture from NASA is fake. So I'm going to test your ability to make that claim. Do you see the coffee screen, the coffee cup on screen?
Yeah.
Is it a photo or is it CGI?
I'm going with photo.
Okay. So we've got,
Is it
looks
right?
like, we'll find out at the end. So it looks like we've got some green beans here that have been cut. Is that a photo or is that CGI?
Can't see them yet. I'm saying photo.
Photo. Okay. Next up, we've got what appears to be some bubbles. I'll give it a sec for it to appear on your screen. Is this a photo or is this CGI?
Going photo.
Okay. All right, next up we've got what appears to be some Greek architecture with a cactus of some kind there. Is this a photo or is it CGI?
That looks like CGI.
Okay. Next
How
up.
many are there?
There's 10, I think. Yeah, 10.
Jeez.
All right, next up we've got what seems to be an Edison-type light bulb. Is this a photo or is it CGI?
I'm going photo.
Okay, awesome. All right,
You
next
already
up.
know, you already know the answer?
It's different each time, so we'll see. Next up, we've got what appears to be the entrance to a nightclub. Is this a photo or is it CGI?
Photo.
All right, number 6. 2 hot air balloons with a background of blue sky. Is this a photo or is it CGI?
That looks real. Watch,
Okay.
they're all going to be CGI. Huh?
And next up, we have a photo of 2 Lego figurines, Star Wars iconic robots, R2-D2 and C-3PO. Is this a photo or is it CGI?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm going CGI on that one.
Okay, 3 to go. Next up, we have a picture of 3 lovely marbles taken up close with some shadows underneath on a white background. Is this a photo or is this a CGI?
I'm going photo on that one.
Okay. Next up, we have what appears to be a lizard of some kind looking straight at the camera with a white background. Is this a photo or is it CGI?
It's a tough one. I'm going real.
And the final one, up close shot of what appears to be some cotton with a black background. Is this a photo or is it CGI?
Looks real.
All right, and let's see what we get. 55%.
Dang,
Right, so
see?
you got
I knew it.
around half. So do you think you
Yeah.
are really equipped to look at a picture and go, that's real or that's fake?
Dang. I'm like halfway there.
Yeah. My point is that
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah,
just look
halfway.
at a picture, right, and know if it's real or CGI, all right? That's not how it works.
Yeah.
You need to look at
That's the point,
the
though,
data backing it up, okay? And we have data backing up all the pictures that we show. We can show you, we can actually tell you about the original film that picture was taken from. We can tell you what camera it was taken on, what position it was taken from. We've got all the
Right.
data to back it up. We don't just look
Hi,
at something and
can you
go, that's
present me?
real or that's claim or that's false. Yeah, right. Let me get you up,
Okay.
team. Right,
Okay.
so
Who's got it?
team,
This is a
say what you're presenting here.
yeah. So this is a this is something that was shared to me by Jesse Kozlowski, who is an actual professional surveyor. This was an observation that was made in 1977, before there was any major talk about flat Earth or anything like that. It was done on the ground with equipment. And let me show you just the basic thing. Basically, they took a bunch of different readings from one observation point, okay? Now, if the Earth is flat, what can we say about the summation of the zenith angles? First off, you understand what a zenith angle is, correct?
Right.
No.
Okay. So if the
Yeah,
Earth
dude.
is flat, what should be the... Okay, so if the Earth is flat, what should the summation of the zenith angles come to? And Darren, get ready to
180.
do some artwork for you. Oh my
Is that what you're
God!
talking about?
Perfect. All right, good deal. Yeah, absolutely. Now, if the
I'm starting
excuse me, let me
bidding
get
at
this off real quick.
$10.
If the Earth is, if the Earth is a sphere, or no, let's go to if the Earth is concave. Okay, if the Earth is concave, what should the summation of the zenith angles add up to?
Oh, yeah, I don't know that. I don't know.
That'd be less than 180. It's unimportant to the argument. I'm just trying to show the whole math, not just part of it. So if it's concave, the summation of the zenith angles would be underneath 180. Okay. Now, if the Earth is a globe, what should the summation of the zenith angles come to?
I mean, if you're talking about like, I mean, to me, it's still, I don't know. If you're gonna say 360,
let's go one step at a time. No. It's above 180, greater than 180. Okay. So basically, if it's a globe, you're going to have the zenith angles as they get further away, they point away from each other. So when you sum the zenith angles, when they align themselves, and you sum the zenith angles between them, they will get to be more than 180. And I'll draw a picture of this for a second, and in a second. And there's a second observation that can be made as well. And that second observation is that the further you get away from the observation point, the greater the summation of the zenith angle should be. Okay, so that's two ways that we can check these data points from 1977. We can check these against what we should expect. Okay, and here are the actual data points right here. Let me see if I can get a close-up view of them.
Let me stop you real quick. Okay. Are you ready?
Okay. Go ahead.
How can you have how can you have a 90-degree zenith angle if the Earth isn't flat?
So you don't know what zenith angle is?
Okay, let me let me pull out the hold on. Let me pull out the drawing for you.
Every geodetic surveyor in the world just had a little heart attack.
Yeah, they did.
So let's say the Earth is flat. All right, let's say the Earth is flat, and you have the plumb right here, and you have a plumb right here. Hold on. Let's say you have a plumb right here and a plumb right here, and you have a distance above the Earth that is H1 and H2. It really doesn't matter because if the Earth's flat, they'll still add up to 180. Okay, so what they do is they visually align this point with that point right there. Excuse me?
If it was a sphere, your angle,
What's not
like
accurate?
you said, right? Well,
we're assuming flat right now. We're just making the assumption. Hold on. Yeah. We're going to describe it as a flat Earth first.
Team, I'm just going to grab a drink.
So what we do is we have this angle. Yeah, and then you have at some distance, you have this angle right here that's being measured on both ends, and then you say angle 1 plus angle 2. Okay, so we got angle 1 plus angle 2. If the Earth is flat, should always equal 180 degrees. Okay, even if these elevations are different, let's say H1's way up here, well, this angle will be greater than 90, but this angle will be acute. It will be less than 90, and that two angles will still add up to be 180. Just for visualization, if it's concave. I'm sorry?
Are you still talking about if it's flat, or have you switched to concave?
No. Now we're just going to quickly discuss concave in case there's anybody out there that wants to understand it. This angle will be less than 90, or the summation of these two angles would be less than 180. Okay, so these two angles add up to less than 180. And if it's a curve, then the summation of the 2 points will always be greater than 180, right? So this angle plus this angle must be greater than 180 if the Earth is a sphere. It cannot be 180 and it cannot be less than 180. Even at different heights, again, the same mathematics applies. You'll still get, even if H1 is up here or H1 is up here, you're still going to get the same thing. The summation of the angles will equal 180 in this situation, and in this situation where the Earth is curved, it will always be greater than 180. Now, let me pull up the actual distances. Okay. I got to find the right one. Okay, no problem. Let me find. I'll find the right.
Okay, I'm back. All right, where did we get to?
I'm trying to find the 1977 observation data real quick. Okay, these are all 2016s. But all these are same measurements being taken. Here's the original 1977 data. Okay. So we'll wait for him to get back to explain it.
Oh, did he have to disappear as well?
I'm not going to disappear.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I just like
no.
uppercut right now. It was an uppercut.
Okay. Right.
So on screen, you can see here that the summation of the angles. Okay. Here's the summation of the zenith angles is 180 degree is greater than 180. Okay, 180, 15, 53. Now, if you look, there's a distance over here. I think this is the distance right here. You'll notice that the distance is, the greater the distance between the two observation points, the greater the zenith angle. And it only changes by very, very little, but it's still the greater, 92 kilometers, it's going to have the greatest, it's going to have a greater zenith angle, summation of zenith angles, than it will at 39 kilometers. And as you see, this is only 19 degrees, 18 seconds greater than 180, and here it's 44 minutes, 33 seconds greater than 180. These are direct measurements, and this is 1977. Here's the project name. I can give you all the information to cite these sources, or so that you can check the sources yourself. But these people didn't do it because they were interested in proving that the Earth was round. They did it because they were surveyors, and that's what surveyors do, is they take these measurements.
Just happens that the
And then
summation
look,
of it all came up to a sphere.
Yeah, and there's other observations that are all included in here, and all of them point. Huh?
Sorry, you cut out for just a sec there. It's fine. You're back.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. There's many observations that you can see here. It's not just one singular one. There's one that's from 1977. It's the one I like to reference because that was done mechanically, and it was done, you know, before there was even the slightest argument of whether the Earth was a sphere or flat. You know, yes, they assumed that the Earth was a sphere, but the assumption never plays into these observations. These observations actually validate their assumptions.
Yeah.
Could you just tell me what a zenith angle is, please, Lorenz?
Yeah, it's basically from your location on Earth towards whatever you're actually pointing at in the sky. So from directly above you, right, to whatever celestial body you're pointing at, that would be your zenith angle.
So why would a 90 degrees at a zenith angle be an issue on a globe?
Because to have a 90-degree angle, you need two straight edges, right?
You just described what a zenith angle is and then acted like you don't understand what it is.
No, because a 90-degree zenith
Yeah, but it's
angle
based on whatever's above you. So basically what it's saying, a 90-degree
Right.
zenith angle would mean there'd be something directly above you.
No, that means that every angle that you were shooting from the ground would be greater than 90 degrees.
I'm really confused. You just described what a zenith angle is, but now you're acting like you don't know.
I didn't say I didn't know.
Wow.
All I'm saying is that when you look at celestial navigation,
Oh, right. Let's talk about celestial navigation. That's a good one because celestial navigation fucking kills the flat Earth. Absolutely kills it dead. All right.
okay, yeah,
Let's talk about a sextant. How does a sextant work?
that's good, but it's kind of what we just talked about.
Right. So, a sextant, you measure the angle between the horizon and something in the sky. Sailors in the northern hemisphere tend to use the North Star, right? If you're at the poles, the North Star is directly above you, so you have like a 90-degree angle, which isn't a problem. Now, the thing about the North Star, if you're using that as your point, right, for every 69 miles that you head away from the North Pole, that angle,
How many?
for every 69 miles that you head away from the North Pole, right, that angle between the Polaris and the horizon will change by 1 degree. You go another 69 miles, it changes by 1 degree. You go another 69 miles, it changes by 1 degree. That kills the flat Earth. Dead.
Because you said the angle changes by a degree?
Yeah, by 1 degree every 69 miles. If the Earth was flat, that angle every 69 miles would be different.
What would it be?
It would get smaller each time, the further away from it you are. But it's not. It stays at 1 degree, no matter what.
How would you even see it if you're going?
Do you agree
69
with
miles?
trigonometry? May I ask you, do you believe that do you believe that trigonometry is correct?
So I believe that there is such thing as spherical trigonometry, right? Obviously, right?
Well, no. I'm just talking about plane. We'll talk about planar trigonometry at this point because we need to address both issues, not just the spherical trigonometry, but we also need to address your model as well, correct?
Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, okay.
Okay. So let me ask a question. You are okay with the basic laws of trigonometry. SOHCAHTOA, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Correct? You agree with that?
I suppose I don't know all that.
Okay, these are just basic math concepts, but all right. So,
Okay.
given that trigonometry is correct, we can make predictions based on the flat Earth. Okay, so for instance, if we're at if we're at 45 degrees out, for instance, let's say we're on the 45th parallel. All right, and we know that we can say that the distance between the North Pole and the South Pole is 25,000 kilometers, or 25,000 miles, okay? 40,000 kilometers, we'll say 40,000 kilometers to make it easy, so it's 10,000 kilometers. Well, I'm going to be talking about I'm going to talk about 1/4. When I'm talking about 45 degrees, I'm talking about 1/4 of the distance between the North Pole and the South Pole. So, making it 40,000 kilometers, we can just easily say it's 10,000 kilometers. Now we take the 10,000, I think it's 10,000 kilometers. God damn it, now you got me confused. Okay. Hold on. I'm sorry, it's less than, it's 5,000 kilometers. 5,000 kilometers. God damn it. Now trying to change it backwards. Let me pull out my goddamn artwork, okay?
Yeah, the thing is, Americans are normally used to measuring things in the number of cheeseburgers. So he gets confused when he has to do actual measurements.
Okay, so yes. The distance between the North Pole and the South Pole is 12,500 miles, I believe. So that'd be about 20,000 kilometers. Okay, so we're talking about 5,000 kilometers at the 45th parallel on a flat Earth. Okay. Now we also know that the sun, or the Polaris, is 45 degrees up as well. Okay. So that's what that 45th parallel is saying, 45 degrees to the North Pole. Oh, yes, I am. My bad. Now we're back. Now our drawing's up, okay? So in this angle, we know that if this is 5,000 kilometers, okay, that this is 5,000 kilometers as well. Okay? That's what that says right there. Those distances are equal. All right? Now, let's pick a new position on the Earth, all right? Now let's pick this position over here. All right, we're going to call that 15 degrees. We're at the 15th degree off of the equator now. And we look at Polaris, and Polaris is 15 degrees in the sky. Okay? Now we can, oh shit, now I'm going to have to calculate let's see, that's another 69 times 15. Well, God damn it. Find that out, the distance of that in kilometers for the additional 50. Or actually, it's going to be, no, it's real simple. It's real simple. It's 1 2/3. So that'd be 6,600. Oh, 60. Okay, great. 66 kilometers. Okay.
Hail Sagan.
So that's what that's saying. No. All right. So now that's the distance from the North Pole to the 15th, okay? That's the distance from the North Pole to the 15th is 66 kilometers. Now, we should be able to do a trigonometry equation and determine whether or not this sun stays at 5,000 kilometers. All right? And the way we do that is we go, I believe that's tangent. Let's see. No, it's...
Are you saying this is how they actually use the sextant? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm giving you some basic math. Tangent of 15 degrees, okay, should equal... opposite, which would be, we'll call this H, okay? We're going to call this H. This will be the height of the sun, divided by 6,666. Yeah, that's an H. That's an H. Okay, so then we multiply both sides by that. So now we have, get out a calculator, fight, and do this math and tell me what H is equal to. 6,666 times tangent 15 degrees.
Yeah.
One sec. My calculator isn't loading.
Yeah.
All right, I can do
Calculators
it.
take up a lot of processing power.
Oh, and then I don't have a.
Sorry,
Oh, wait, maybe I can just pull up a scientific. Yeah. Okay. Good deal.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, come
We'll
on.
see how that works. All right.
Tangent 15 equals times.
Oh, it's working
Oh,
now.
whoa. Why did it do that? Why did it do that? Hold on. I guess I have to hit 15 tangent. All right. I don't know how to use this calculator. All right, times 66 equals 1,700 kilometers up. Okay. 1,700, I believe it said like 86 kilometers. So why does the sun's height drop? These are observations here, okay? This is what he's talking about.
Right.
Every 69 miles, it goes down one degree. So we can say that if that, we know that the Polaris is not changing in elevation, correct? We know that it's fixed in the sky.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the height should never change. But the height does change. It changed from 5,000 kilometers to 1,786 kilometers.
Yeah, but didn't you say that was going to happen the further you go away? Is it?
If
or-
the
I don't
Earth
understand.
was flat,
Flat,
then
right? Yeah. Isn't that what you said it happened?
Yeah, but the sun doesn't, the Polaris doesn't change in height. That's the point.
No, I know, but you said if it was flat, the farther you go away, the smaller the angle is going to be. Isn't that what he's talking about?
Yeah, but he's taking it further. He's saying based on what we see in reality, you would actually end up with different heights for the position of Polaris.
Right,
right?
but I thought that's what you
From the
said would
elevation
happen.
of Polaris,
Yeah.
correct.
Right.
I
Let
thought
me
that's what you said would happen.
let me show you.
Yeah, but Polaris
yeah.
doesn't actually move, correct? I mean,
Yeah.
you're not
Right.
assuming that Polaris moves based on the observer. So
So
I'm standing under it. Obviously, I'm pointing at 90 degrees. The farther I go away, obviously the angle is going to get smaller. Because it's the Earth's
Right.
flat. What you're saying?
yeah. So
That's what happens.
Here's my attempt, right? So, in reality, when you're using the sextant, for every 6-9 miles, the angle of elevation of Polaris changes by 1 degree. All right. Now, say this is at the North Pole. You're looking straight up. There's Polaris. Okay.
Right.
But then,
90 degrees.
yeah. That's
Okay.
something. Okay. So, but then you go 6-9 miles. Okay.
Okay. What is that?
That's just a 6-9 mile marker. All right, and then you're looking up at Polaris, okay? And you get this angle here. Say that's 1 degree because you've gone 6-9 miles, right? It's changed by 1 degree. But then you go another 6-9 miles, right?
So what is that?
So that's like 238 miles, right?
No. Is it?
Sorry,
Yeah,
138 miles. Anyway, so what we find in reality is that this angle stays the same, right?
Yeah.
But on a flat Earth, for every 6-9 miles, it wouldn't be a change of 1 degree. It would get progressively smaller, right? So you've gone another 6-9 miles, looking up at Polaris,
Yeah.
and the angle's changed. You've gone another 6-9
Yeah.
miles, looking up at Polaris, and again,
Right.
that angle's changed. But we don't see that in
Yeah.
reality. What we see in
You said
reality...
you did.
No. In reality, the change of angle is only 1 degree each time, right? But this would be you wouldn't get that with this. You would have a different amount of change each time. It would be.
Now
It
show
would
the
be.
curvature.
Sorry.
Show the curvature.
Show the curvature.
Yeah, and then what your angles would look like. And then this
Oh,
you can
right.
see that in reality.
Right. Okay. So, let me get rid of this.
Because how many miles is that? You said that it's only a degree, 69 miles, right? You shouldn't even be
Yeah.
able to see it after 69 miles because you would be below the horizon.
No, it's still in the sky.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Okay.
No.
So, right.
You would be below the
So
horizon,
here's the globe. Okay. All right.
right?
And you've got Polaris up here, right, directly above the North Pole. Okay.
Let me
Right.
get your flat. Let me get your curvature calculator out real quick
All right.
because you're not you're
No,
contradicting yourself.
no, I'm not. Right, no, listen, okay?
Go
So,
ahead. Go ahead.
you go 6-9 miles, all right? The angle's changed by 1 degree. You go another 6-9 miles, that angle's changed by 1 degree. You go another 69 miles, that angle's changed by 1 degree. All right? That change in angle is 1 degree each time. But on a flat Earth, you don't get that 1 degree change. It is a different amount each time.
Are you trying to show something?
Oh, sugar.
Yeah,
Are you trying to show something? Because
Yeah.
this is showing the Earth.
I'm sorry. I thought I had this up.
You're trying to brainwash us some more. That's what you're doing.
My bad. Right, let me go. Right, so we've got the globe here, and we've got Polaris above you,
Yep.
right? Okay? So if you're at the North Pole, you're looking directly up, 90 degrees, okay? You go 69 miles, it changes by 1 degree. You go another 69 miles, it changes by another 1 degree. You go another 69 miles, it changes by another 1 degree. Right?
You wouldn't see it.
And then when you get to this point, right, the angle between so just before it goes over the horizon, the angle between the Polaris and the horizon will be like 1 degree. And then once you're at the equator, it matches the horizon because you can't see it. All right?
Yeah.
But that angle changes 1 degree for every 69 miles.
Nope.
Yes. What do you mean no?
No. Because based on your math, spherical math, you said that there would be 3,174 feet at 69 miles of curvature.
I'm not talking about feet. I'm talking about angles. The angle
No, I'm
to
talking
look
about-
at. No. Right. We're talking about the angle to look at Polaris. All right. Now you're still going to be able to see Polaris until you get to the equator. All right. You got the equator here. You're going to be able to see Polaris from every point on the Earth until you get to the equator. All right. When you're at the equator, Polaris will be at the horizon.
No, that's not it.
Yes, it is it. What do you mean that's not it?
Because based on your own math, you would have 3,174 feet of curvature at 69 miles.
Yeah, and why would that not allow you to see something that is directly above you?
How would it be above you? You wouldn't even be able to see it.
Look at what... I mean, if you're here, right, you've gone 69 miles, all right, yet you can still see something that is fucking up here. How would you not be able to... I mean, you're talking about if Polaris was fucking... Right? You're talking about if Polaris was here, right? Okay?
No.
No, you are. If Polaris was there, after fucking, 69 miles, it would be really hard to see. But because Polaris is fucking directly above you at the North Pole, for every 69 miles, the degree that you see Polaris changes by 1 degree. All right? It changes by 1 degree every time. 1 degree. 1 degree. 1 degree. All right? If the Earth was flat, that wouldn't be just a 1 degree change.
You just showed what it would be. You said it would still get smaller.
Oh my God. Team?
Those lines are supposed to be parallel with one another, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm worse at art than you are.
They're supposed to be parallel.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Because
so
the
yeah,
rays
celestial
come from
navigation.
the Polaris because
Yeah.
Polaris is really far away.
I mean, I'm just trying
and
to...
much larger than the Earth. So I see what you're trying to do.
I'm
You're
trying to show it
you're
on
trying to
a
explain how
smaller scale. But yeah, obviously they would appear parallel based on the fact that it's so far away.
Yeah, that didn't work out for you.
Well, it does, because if you do it a lot further away, those lines
true.
will look a lot, let me go back to that. So if this Polaris was way up here, way above it, these lines would look a lot more parallel than they do. It's only because I put Polaris relatively close to the Earth to demonstrate this principle of how much it would change and what you would be able to see. Obviously, in reality, Polaris is way further, which makes the lines appear vertical. All right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is that the change of 1 degree for every 69 miles, it doesn't work on a flat Earth. It just doesn't work.
You just showed it that it did.
No, it doesn't, because on a flat Earth, that change of angle is going to be different for every 69 miles. It's not going to be a 1 degree change.
What is it going to be?
Yeah, so
the further away you get, the less
I
it's
just
going to
did
be.
the math.
Yeah.
I just did the math, right? If you just go, let me put I just finished the math while y'all were talking, right, to show what it should be if the Earth was flat, right? And here's the math that it should be if the Earth is flat. See, we already said that once you get to the 15th degree, you're going to be measuring 15 degrees off the horizon. So here is where the math is to say, let's say that we didn't measure off the horizon. We just took the land measurements, which was 66 kilometers, and we took the elevation of the sun that we got from the 45 degree measurement, which was 5,000 kilometers, and we just plugged them in and did some math, and we say the tangent of x will equal 5,000 divided by 66, and therefore x, after doing the math, x equals 36.87 degrees. So what we should see if the Earth was flat, this would be 36.87 degrees, when in reality it's 15 degrees. This is a contradiction to your model. And this is not just a contradiction to your model, but this is a contradiction that you yourself can go out and measure. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right. No. So you said from what distance is that, though? You said it changes, right? At one point, you will be 36.8 degrees, right? Is that
but a broken clock's right twice a day.
Hold on. Yes, absolutely. At 36.8, at the 36.87 degree parallel. That's where, at that line of longitude, that is where we will observe the Polaris being at 36.87 degrees in the sky, off of the horizon.
So what did you say you said the radius was 6371? Is that what it was? Kilometers?
Well, I took no radius into this. This is simply based on flat Earth right here. This is simply based on flat Earth. This is simply saying that at 45 degrees, at the 40. Yeah, okay, so that's where we get the 45 is where we get our reference point, okay? Because we know from observational measurements, okay, that this distance is approximately 5,000 kilometers, okay? So based on trigonometry, the tangent of 45, okay, equals x over y, and they equal 1, so that means x or y equals x. And the same thing, x equals y. So therefore, this distance right here, 5,000 kilometers, is the same as this distance right here, which is the elevation of Polaris in the sky on a flat Earth. Okay? So that's how we get this reference point. We say, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So you said at 5,000 kilometers. You see what I'm saying? And so you're saying that you can see it, right? There's a 45-degree angle. You're saying that that's what we see in reality.
Yes, 45 degrees off of the horizon.
Until we move out, you said further, then the math falls apart, allegedly.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
No, it falls apart. So, no. Hold on. I don't want to misconstrue anything. It's no distance that it begins to fall apart. It only works for one distance. It only works for 45 degrees. When you go closer to the North Pole, it doesn't work in that direction. When you go further away from the North Pole, it doesn't work in that direction. It only works for one point. Let's say you choose to make your reference point at 60 degrees. Well, then that would mean that, you know, instead of adding 16, it would be, what, 33, I believe, is what it would be. Okay, 30. Then we would say tangent of 60, okay, to get the height, we would say tangent of 60 would be equal to, let's see, this would be 33, so the height over 33, okay? So we'll do this math real quick. So 33 times tangent 60 degrees. That's going to be the height of the sun on a flat Earth at the 60th line of longitude. Okay, now let me get the calculator out to do this real quick. Okay, 60. I was learning my calculator while y'all were talking, so I could do this faster.
Nice.
Times 33. Okay, so there we go. Boom. Now the height of the sun is no longer at 5,000. Hold on, I'll pull that back up. It's now at 5,773 kilometers. So see, it changes. It changes no matter which way you go. It's always going to, you're always going to be off. So see, now here's what we do. So we say, okay, at this point, we say the sun is this reference height. Okay, so we say, you know, forget the 45-degree measurement. Let's just throw 5773 in. Well, if we still come check out this other measurement over here, it's still going to be off.
Yeah,
because it only works because we're on a globe. It's only going to work for one observation point at a time, and anytime you try to use that observation point to validate another observation point, you're going to run into a problem.
Yeah. And someone in our community did something kind of similar. He did more of an Eratosthenes experiment. He got a bunch of people from around the world. I think it was 27 different people, and actually got them to measure the angle that the sun created a shadow on a stick from at solar noon, right? And then plotted the results onto two things, right? He plotted the results onto a flat plane and onto a globe, right? So when he plotted all these data points onto a flat plane, what you found is what Team was saying there as well, that you got conflicting positions for the height of the sun, right? Based on all the data points around the world that he gathered. See how none of these lines meet up? None of them, some say the sun should be to the right of it. Some say it should be to the left and lower. None of them match up, right? But if you map these data points onto a globe, we get exactly what we expect to see. Parallel lines pointing towards the sun. All right? And it was using a method similar to this. Eratosthenes was able to calculate the circumference of the Earth in 2000 BC between Cyrene and Alexandria, right? But he only used 2 data points. But this was 27 data points, and the data points show that the Earth can't be flat with a local sun, because based on who's looking at it from what position on the Earth, the sun would be at different heights, and that isn't how reality works. If the Earth was flat, the sun would only be one height, above the Earth, but it doesn't. It doesn't match the maths. The physical math that is given from people around the world does not match the Earth being flat.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. I've just shown you it doesn't.
No, you showed me a CGI, like I said you would.
No, this isn't CGI. This is data points from.
This is reality. We're looking in reality right now.
Yeah, it's reality because these data points are from real people all around the world. Right? You can look through this video yourself and see where the data points came from. And it was real people, real data points around the world, getting the angle of the sun. I'll get one of the photos there. There's one of the photos showing you when they were doing it. So it's not CGI. It is just putting data points onto something to visualize it. All right? Yeah, and when you do that, with real world measurements, it shows the Earth can't be flat.
No. It's wrong.
Please explain why. Please give your methodology and explanations as to why this is wrong.
Okay, so check it out. First of all, when you all did your own or provided your own formula for Earth's curvature, right? You said that basically, if you do the math yourself, you can pull it up for everybody, and you do a 5,000 kilometers, which you said that we could see Polaris at, right? You said it would be a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
Well, using your math, that would be like a mile below the horizon of curvature. So how are you going to be a mile below the horizon based on your curvature math and still see Polaris?
What?
Because you said you should.
Polaris is in the sky, not at the horizon.
How do you think people? Yeah. How do you think people that are 69 miles away see the moon in the sky?
Like you're acting as though these things are just a few fucking meters above our head.
No. I'm talking about angles. You guys brought up angles, right?
Yeah, and the angle, if the Earth is a globe, no. If the angle, if the Earth is a globe, is like it shows on here, right? If something is extremely far away, like the sun or Polaris, you will get these angles that point in one direction. That's what you get. No, it doesn't mean that if something's like all the way over to the left of here, you're going to be able to see it as long as you're on that side of the Earth. That's what our math says.
So you said you had to be on that side of the Earth.
The Earth doesn't rise up out of the ground. Yeah, the Earth doesn't rise up out of the ground to block your vision. That's what a big misconception is. They think that they think that the ground comes up. No, when you look directly at eye's sight and you look parallel to the horizon, you're not the Earth shouldn't come up over your vision. No, that's not how it works. So when you're looking out and you look up at the sun, okay, so like on the equinox, for instance, okay, when the sun is over the equator, when it's making the subsolar point is over the equator, okay? when you're at solar noon and you look up, depending upon your latitude or the number of degrees you are from the equator, that's how far the sun is going to be off of your zenith, okay, off of your plumb. All right, directly overhead. So if you move 10 degrees up, if you move 690 miles up, then the sun is no longer going to be appearing directly over your head. It's actually going to appear 10 degrees off of directly over your head. Okay, so I don't get where you're saying that the Earth should be blocking the sun or a star. Polaris is the same way.
Well, are you still looking at the same screen, like this CGI that we're looking at?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay. So if you're on, say, the North Pole, right?
Yeah.
You're saying that if you went to the right, I guess that would be east, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess, I don't know. Anyways, because I'm, whatever.
Right.
Okay,
No,
so
okay,
you
at the
want
North
to-
Pole, everything's south at the North Pole. Everything's south at the North Pole.
Right.
There is no east,
Right.
west.
Yeah.
Everything's south.
Right.
All right. On what you're seeing here, right? Let's just so you can visualize it. Everything to the left of that line in the middle would be in day. Everything to the right would be in the night because the sun is to the left.
Okay, so the sun is where the one is. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, much further off to the left. Like much further off, which is why the lines are parallel and much bigger, obviously.
Okay, so where you would be at is the one, right? That's where you're standing. Is that what you're saying, or are you saying you're standing at the North Pole?
Well, if you're at the North Pole, the sun will be on the horizon at this point. Do you see? If you were if you were standing right at the top there, just above the 90 degrees, the sun would be at the horizon.
No, what I'm saying is where the 90 degrees at the top, right? That line that's going straight up the middle.
Yeah.
That was Polaris, right? Just say that's what we're
Yeah.
about.
Polaris would be up there, but way above there.
Right.
We're talking about the sun in this instance.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I was talking about Polaris because that's what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
If you went south, like we said, right, whatever direction, you're saying that you would still see it, right?
Yeah, until you got to the equator. Yes. Because the rays coming from a parallel many light years to the north, above the Earth. I mean, there's no up and down in space. It's hard to talk in relative terms.
Right. But anyways, you would be a mile below the horizon, and you're saying that from a mile below the horizon, you're still going to see it.
You wouldn't be below the horizon, and neither would the sun. Neither would the Polaris. Polaris would be in the sky. No. On our math, there's nothing on our math that says something that is directly overhead at the poles would then be a mile below the horizon at another point.
No,
that's not how it works. No, you would never be below the horizon. The horizon is relative to you.
I'm talking about from me.
Where are you?
Yeah, I can easily demonstrate this on
Paint
3D.
Go ahead, Jack.
My goodness me.
Here we go. Okay.
Can you not visualize 3D space?
Okay, so here's
see
Polaris.
it. Okay.
Here's Polaris, and here's the Earth. Okay. Now this distance is a great distance away. All right. Now because
Polaris
this is the Earth.
Because Polaris is a star. It's a sun. It's much bigger than the Earth.
It's a star. Yeah.
Wow.
So look, here is the plums for three different observers on the Earth. Okay, who can see Polaris. So at night, this person sees Polaris at this angle right here. Okay. He sees that off of his plumb. This is his angle that he sees it. At the North Pole, this is the North Pole right here. And off of this guy's angle, he sees Polaris, the light coming from Polaris right here. See, this is a little bit, because of the distance, this right here, if he looked straight up, he would actually be looking away from Polaris. So, unfortunately, we're going to draw the lines of sight like that.
You would be a mile below the horizon. You
wouldn't.
No. That's the plumb. That's the plumb. That's his plumb. That's the direction his plumb line is pointing, from the center of the Earth out. So he is observing Polaris at an angle, right? This angle is equivalent to this angle right here. So if it's 45 degrees, if he's moved to the 45th longitude, or 45th latitude, I'm sorry, right? Did I get?
Yeah.
Longitude. 45th longitude. He's going to see the angle right here is going to be 45 degrees. So at the 45th parallel, that's what the angle is going to be.
And for every 6 to 9
Same thing
degrees
with
you
this
move
guy.
away
This
from the
guy is
pole,
at the 30th.
it's going to change by 1 degree.
Well, we already determined the math is going to change regardless.
No, the math's
Obviously,
not
the
going
math.
to change.
Obviously, yes, it would. The math would change whether the Earth was.
What do you mean the math would change?
Based on your distance, right? As you move, the math is going to change one way or the other.
No, the math is going to be the same. The angle will change.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's what I'm talking about. The
Say
angle
that,
changes
then.
regardless. The angle.
Yeah, but the amount that it changes only matches a spherical geometry, not a flat one.
Oh man, you guys are killing me because we've already talked about this, right? We said that they've been using celestial navigation for thousands of years under the assumption Earth was flat. That means
No, they
weren't
didn't
using
make any assumption with celestial navigation. All they did was they went, okay, based on our observations of things in the sky, we're going to know where they are. But when you actually use an astrolabe or a sextant, and actually model it out, they only work if the Earth is a globe. They don't work if the Earth is flat. It's as simple as that. No, you can't just say no. The math doesn't work if the Earth is flat. That is a fact.
It does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't
Hey.
work if the Earth is flat.
Yep.
No, it
I
doesn't.
need to correct myself. When I said lines of longitude, they were lines of latitude. I don't know why I said longitude. I was trying to think of how to best describe this, but it was lines of latitude, not longitude. We're talking about the different ones going this way.
Lorenz, no,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
the math does not work if the Earth is flat. It's simple. The math doesn't work. No, stop. No, shut up. The math does not work if the Earth is flat. It does not work. No, it does not work. It doesn't. You can't argue. You're arguing that 1 add 1 isn't 2. All right? The math does not work.
It's worked for thousands of years.
No, it doesn't, based on how a sextant works. A sextant only works if the Earth is a globe. Otherwise, the angle would not change by just 1 degree.
We just showed that it works because the Earth is flat.
No, it doesn't work if the Earth is flat. What aren't you getting about this? Please explain explain with maths how it works if the Earth is flat. It doesn't.
Yes, it does, because all they're using is the flat plane.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not using the flat. No, they're not. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, you moron. They're not. All right. They are looking at angles at things in the sky. All right. And when you map that out, it does not work if the Earth is flat.
It does.
No, you can't just say it does without backing that up. We've shown you that it doesn't.
Nope, I showed you it did.
No, you haven't shown anything.
Yes, I did.
No, you haven't shown anything. When did you show anything? Don't fucking lie to me.
In the presentation.
No, the presentation said that an astrolabe and a sextant prove the Earth is flat. Whereas we are showing you that they do not. I'm going to do it once more because you're a fucking retard.
Before that.
Shut the fuck up. Right. This is a flat Earth. Okay?
Yep. The Earth.
No, this is a flat Earth, not the Earth.
What we
Okay?
live on.
Shut the fuck up. Polaris. Here's the North Pole. Okay? 90 degrees. 90 degree angle here, right?
Yep.
So
Because it's flat.
we've got a 90 degree angle there. Alright? But you go 69 miles this way. Okay? The angle to Polaris, in reality, after 69 miles, it's no longer 90 degrees. Alright? It's 89. In reality. Okay? Then you go another 69 miles. Okay? Now we're talking about in reality, this angle is no longer 89, it's 88. However, that doesn't work. Based on this, that angle would no longer be 88. But in reality, it is. All right? You go another 69 miles. All right? In reality, the angle between the horizon and Polaris is now 87 degrees. All right? But based on a flat Earth, that isn't going to be 87 degrees.
So yeah, it wouldn't be that either on a sphere.
Yes, it would. We've just explained how it would.
Wouldn't. Nope. No, you didn't. You drew a picture and then you put some numbers up and said this is the way it is.
Yeah, because that's what math says. Are you arguing with trigonometry now?
And you said fucking nuh-uh. Yeah, you said nuh-uh. You didn't show us how
I
we're
said
wrong.
Right,
You
no,
just said nuh-uh.
right,
That's
Lorenz,
not-
Lorenz, no, you need to now debunk trigonometry.
Poe.
Please go ahead and debunk trigonometry. Off you go.
I'm saying,
No, shut up. Unless your next words are not how to debunk trigonometry, you don't get to say anything else. Please debunk trigonometry, because trigonometry disagrees with you.
okay, you can't see something if you're a mile below the horizon.
Back that up with maths, please.
That doesn't make sense.
It does.
Why not?
Based on y'all spherical math, you would be a mile below the
No,
horizon.
no, you wouldn't.
That's what you said.
No, our math doesn't say that at all.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Pull it up in your
Our math does not say that something that is 90 degrees at the North Pole would then be a mile below the horizon after 69 miles. That is not what our math says.
5,000. You said you'd still be able to see it after 5,000 kilometers.
Yes.
So
It would be
pull
on
up
the
your-
horizon
pull
at
up
that
your-
point,
pull-
pretty much.
No, it wouldn't. Pull up your calculator and show us 5,000 kilometer curvature.
And what is that going to do to something that is in the sky? I mean, seriously, will you dropped on your head?
Yeah,
as a
we're not
child?
looking at the fucking Polaris. Listen, Polaris is not sitting on the surface. Again, I'm calling you out for being a Poe because you know this to be true. What do you think that Polaris is sitting on the surface? Or do you think that it's
No,
at
of
an
course not.
elevation in the sky? Okay, well then why do you keep saying stupid shit like it would be a mile under the thing? That's not right. You know that's not right. You know Polaris
that's what
is
you're
thousands of kilometers on your map, okay, on your model. You say Polaris at thousands of kilometers in the sky. You can measure this, you can verify this. It's not sitting on the surface. So why would you think that when we're trying to explain our model, you're trying to debunk our model, that we believe that Polaris is sitting on the surface of the Earth and is this tiny ass little ball? No, it's much, much greater than the fucking size of the Earth, and it's fucking light years away. So those
that's
two
what we
things
see
right there,
right
if you're going to be...
That's what we see?
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
way.
We
No
see
way.
fucking Polaris light years away because it's much bigger
No
than the
way.
Earth and it's bright.
No.
What do you mean, no? Back it up,
Just
please.
saying no is not
You're
fucking
showing-
refuting
you're
it.
showing-
Yeah.
you're
Your
showing it
argument
like
from
it's a-
incredulity does not impress me.
You're showing it as though it's like this mothership over Earth, and that's not what we see.
Yeah, but
Speck in the sky.
no, it's not. It's much bigger than Earth, many, many times bigger than Earth, and many
God.
millions of miles away.
Father
right?
Ted, please. We need a Father Ted. We need to show off Father Ted for a second because he doesn't understand that concept.
Okay, one last time. These are small, but the ones out there are far away. Small, far away. Forget
Okay,
it.
so now do you understand?
Yeah, that's
You
not it.
understand now what we're trying to say?
So
Well, of course, you just say
So,
that's not it, but that
as
is it. You
the-
can't.
this
you can't
is
say it's
far
wrong.
away.
The observation says it's it.
So from here, it's going to look small. But what I am
Okay.
showing you here is what we see in reality, all right? Actual reality, all right? What we see is the angles that I am showing you here. So,
Yeah.
if you are at the North Pole, here, Polaris, this big fuck-off star, is directly overhead. But you move 69 miles away, this angle is now 89 degrees. You move another 69 miles, this angle is now 88. You move another 69 miles, this angle is now 87. Until you get all the way down to the equator, where the angle between the horizon and Polaris will be 0. That is what our math says. Do not misrepresent our math. Please try and refute that without sounding like a fucking retard.
All right, hold on. Okay.
I don't think you're a real flat earther. I think you're
Yeah.
faking it. Because
Not
even
even.
flat earthers aren't this fucking stupid.
So you drew a super big giant spaceship above a little.
No,
tiny
I didn't draw a
satellite.
spaceship. I drew
said
a
that's
star.
reality.
I said I drew a
It's
It's a
star.
representation, man.
Yeah.
Mothership.
If that's
You-
your argument,
you
if
do
you're gonna
understand
stoop
that
to
stars
that-
are bigger
that
than the
level
Earth,
of
right?
Intellectual dishonesty. Yeah, if you're going to
No,
stoop
so
to that level of
you two are
intellectual
this big
dishonesty,
giant-
then there's
you
no
do
more
this big
conversation to
giant-
be had.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a representation. It's a representation. You
Yeah.
understand those concepts. I know you
That's
do.
what
Come on.
our
Next
reality
time.
says, all right? We're not talking about flat earth fairy tales. We're talking about reality. Our reality, the actual reality. And in reality, the sun isn't a fucking tiny dot. It's fucking massive and 93 million miles away. And the stars aren't these tiny dots. They're really, really, really small away. Just like that dumpster at the end of the alley that you sleep at isn't actually just the size of your thumb. It's just the other side of the fucking alley. So please refute what we have just said, or admit that an astrolabe and a sextant does not work if the Earth is flat.
It does.
Please back that up. You can't just say it doesn't without backing it up. Why does the angle? No. Why does the angle? No. Don't just go. It's been used. All right. Why does the angle between something and the horizon only change by 1 degree every 6-9 miles? Why does that amount not change?
I don't know. I'd have to see it.
I'm telling you, it doesn't. I'm a fucking sailor. I've spent a lot of time at sea, and it doesn't. It's always 1 degree difference every 6-9 miles. That's a fact.
You were doing spherical trigonometry at sea.
I didn't need to. I just needed to see that the angle between
You
something.
didn't need to.
Shut up, you
Why would
fucking
you even
moron.
hold on? Why would you even bring up spherical trigonometry when you don't even know basic trigonometry? You don't even know planar trigonometry, and yet you're still here
just
trying to
saying
argue
they
with him,
never
saying
used it.
he doesn't. You're saying he's wrong because he's using spherical trigonometry, but you just don't understand anything you're
didn't.
talking
He
about.
doesn't-
How are you
he
even in a
doesn't use
position? No, you. How are you
No,
in a
he
position to use
doesn't.
that as an argument?
Yeah.
No, but how are you in a position to use that as an argument, as a defense?
Yeah. You don't get to keep changing the
Like,
subject.
explain.
Lorenz, yeah, you
Explain.
don't get to keep changing the subject, all right? I'm going to hold you to a question now, all right? And I'm going to get an answer out of you.
Basic
Why?
trigonometry.
Why does the angle between something and the horizon change by 1 degree every 6-9 miles?
Because you're getting further away.
That doesn't work if the Earth is flat. We've shown you the math.
Yes, it does. No, you showed
Oh,
that
so
the
no,
angle
okay,
would
no. You now need to debunk trigonometry. We've shown you the math that it doesn't work if the Earth is flat. Please
Doesn't
debunk
work.
trigonometry. You can't, can you? Sorry, but is 1 add 1 right? Lorenz, is 1 add 1 2?
Yes.
What's the square root of 9?
3.
Okay, right? That's maths. You can't argue with that, right? The square root of pi is 1.7724. You can't change that. It's a fact. The same as what we are saying right now. You cannot change the fact that the angle only changes by 1 degree. And that fact points to a spherical Earth. A spherical Earth, not a flat Earth, right? That is what the math says. The math says a flat Earth is impossible based on celestial navigation. If you agree that 1 add 1 is 2 and that the square root of 9 is 3, then you also agree with what we have just said.
Negative.
You lose. End of story. Sorry, but you lose. We can show you measurements that the Earth is flat. We can show you measurements that the Earth is curvy.
Yes, you can.
We can show
Yes,
you
you can.
well, we can show you where the math is used in real world documents. We can show you pictures of the Earth from space. We can explain to you how a sextant and an astrolabe works if the Earth is a sphere. None of it works if the Earth is flat, and there is no measurements for the Earth being flat or rotating. Either present some measurements or admit you're wrong.
I already told you, all the real world engineering is absent of any spherical or rotational math, period. That's my case.
Except the Venice-Narrows Bridge, which took the curvature of the Earth into account. So what do you say about that?
It didn't. Show prints.
It absolutely did. You can look at the original documentation for building it yourself. I've shown it many times on this channel, right? You can actually look at the original documentation and the original architect's notes for when they were building it, because they had to take the curvature of the Earth into account. The two plumb towers were 3 5/8 inches further apart at the top than they were at the bottom due to the curvature of the Earth, and they had to take that into account with the design of the bridge and the weight management aspects of calculating load bearing. The fact that the Earth is curved was taken into account in that engineering. The LIGO installations, for instance, had to actually have precision poured concrete at the end of the 1 kilometer long arms because of the curvature of the Earth. Meant that at the end of the legs there was a big gap between it and the floor. So to keep it flat and completely flat and straight, they had to add something to it. That is real world engineering, where the curvature of the Earth was taken into account. And we have also shown you actual military manuals that say you have to take the rotation of the Earth into account, and given you the mathematical calculations to make the corrections that you need based on the Coriolis force, which is induced on the Earth due to the fact it is rotating. Yeah. Please debunk this. Don't just go nutter. If you go nutter, I'm going to boot you. Either debunk it or admit you're wrong.
No, so here's the thing, right?
If you don't debunk one of those things, I'm not going to listen. You need to actually stay on topic and address the points. Why was the curvature of... we'll start with the Venice Arenarez Bridge. Why was the curvature of the Earth taken into account with the Venice Arenarez Bridge?
I'd have to see the blueprints.
You can go look at the blueprints all you want, and the blueprints will tell you that they took the curvature of the Earth into account. So why did they do that?
I'd have to see it officially.
No, I don't know. Shut up. I'm telling you, you can go and look at it, and it will show that. Now, assuming that I have told you the truth, which I have, you can go and check it for yourself. But assuming I have told you that, shut up. Assuming I have told you the truth, why did they take the curvature of the Earth into account when building the bridge? Don't just go show me. Don't just go like they didn't, because you can go and look it up for yourself, and you will find out that they did. So why is that the case?
Show it.
No, answer the question.
I'll just say they didn't.
No, no. Show me the question. Answer the question now.
They didn't.
No, answer the question. They did. You can go and look it up, and they did. Answer the question. If you don't, I'm calling you a straight up po. And everybody that's watching this, I'm going to post it all over Facebook, and I'm going to tag you in it over and fucking over. Answer the question so everybody can see how much of a fucking idiot you are. Why was it taken into account when building the Venice Arenarez Bridge? Answer the question.
Hold on.
Answer the question. Come on. I'm not letting you get away with it. You're not just going to go, it didn't. I don't believe it. They did. You can check it. No, shut the fuck up. They did. You can check it. Shut the fuck up. They did. You can check it. Shut up. You don't talk when I'm talking. You shut up. They did. Shut up. They did. You can check it yourself if you want to see the evidence. Now, why did they do it?
I'll check it.
Cool. Now, assuming that I'm telling the truth, because when you go and look into it, you will find that I am. Why did they take the curvature of the Earth into account?
They didn't.
You're a po. Everyone is going to see this. I'm going to post this all. No. I'm going to post this all over Facebook, and I'm going to tag you in it everywhere, so people can see how much of a dishonest piece of shit you are. You are getting exposed right now. There are 700 people watching you break down like a little fucking child.
Okay, I'll post it. I'm the one breaking down?
Yes, you absolutely are. Right. Answer the question. Why did they take the curvature of the Earth into account when building the Venice Arenarez Bridge? Don't just go, they didn't, or I don't believe it. They did, and you will find that out if you look into it yourself. So why did they? Answer the question. Come on, I'm waiting. Answer. Why did they do it?
When you post it on Facebook, right? I'm going to post the evidence.
No, answer the question.
I'm going to post the evidence to prove it. So go ahead and do it.
Answer the question, please.
Go ahead and do it.
So you can't answer the question?
No, I don't believe it's true.
Well, just going, I don't believe it, is personal incredulity, and I don't give a fuck. All right? I don't believe that someone can have a low IQ as you. All right? But apparently it's fucking true. Now answer the question. I'm not getting off of this. You answer the question or you leave. That's your two choices. And if you leave, everyone will see you run away from answering a question.
Well, you haven't provided evidence.
No, you can look at the evidence yourself. I have shown it on this channel hundreds of times, all right? You can go and look for the evidence yourself. And if you go and look at the evidence yourself, you will find that they took the curvature of the Earth into account when building the Venice Arenarez Bridge. Now, why did they do that? Come on.
Okay, so Some bridges are actually, they have arches, right? So if they have arch or curvature or whatever the case is, they do that for specific reasons, right? Based on the geography or whatever the case is.
Or the curvature of the Earth,
No.
Yeah.
You won't find. Okay, so then show me the curvature of the Earth in an actual bridge engineering official document. Okay?
Cool. Go and look up how they built the Venice Narrows Bridge.
I am.
Right, because they Verrazano Narrows Bridge. Am I saying that right? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. It's the bridge in New York. But they took the curvature of the Earth into account, and it's a fact. And if you look at the original documents, the original design documents, you will see that they, when designing it, had to take the curvature of the Earth into account, because they knew that those plumb towers would be pointing away from each other at the top, which means, as a suspension bridge, it would have to have a certain load-bearing capacity, which would have to be taken into account. If they're not completely plumb, it means they would have to have a different amount of stresses on the parts holding the suspension rail together. The fact that it is curved meant that the top of the towers were 3 and 5/8 inches further apart than the bottom, and they were both plumb. So why is that the case?
Let's look at the evidence.
Just answer the question.
No, let's look at the evidence.
No, answer the fucking question.
No,
you can look at the evidence in your own time, all right? This is a fact I'm telling you. Why did they do it? This pronunciation is Verrazano, apparently. Verrazano Bridge. Verrazano Narrows Bridge.
How do you spell
it? How do you spell the Verrazano, or how do I pronounce it? I can get you... Let me get you the actual link for the thing. All right, you're just dancing around the question. All right, why did they take it into account?
They didn't.
No, you can't just say they didn't. They did. Why did they take it into account? It's in the construction criteria. It's in everything that they were reading about it. Everything that they were building, all the documents and the manuals, they had to take it into account. It's there, and you will find this out. All right, either that, or everyone's going to see that I'm lying. Okay, so.
Yeah, you are. You're lying.
No, I'm not lying. It's a fact. I'm trying to find the actual. That's not the one. So you can't answer, is what you're saying?
No, you can't. You can't provide evidence, is what you're saying.
The actual construction manuals for the bridge will provide the evidence that's required.
Sure will.
So you're just going straight up with that everyone's lying.
No, I'm going that you don't have any evidence of your claim that you just made here.
No, I do have evidence. The actual documents are for the construction of the bridge, which you can look at yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Right? And I have presented it many times on this channel before. And the conclusion is that they took the curvature of the Earth into account. So why did they do that?
They didn't.
No, you can't just say, if you say you didn't once more, I'm going to boot you. All right? Answer the fucking question or you go.
Why are you going to...
Because you can't answer a question. I'm sticking with this until you answer it. You either answer or you've admitted defeat. Those are the two options.
At this point, we're arguing with a stop sign.
Yeah.
Okay, we're arguing with a stop sign. You keep saying the same thing over and over, and every time we answer why the response you have is poor,
I'm just saying,
you then we get back on topic and you give the same answers over and over again. We've really tried to. I've tried to explain some of this, and we have. Okay, we have several times. That is
Lorenz,
the actual
I've got to say, this is actually one of the worst defeats Flat Earth has ever had on my channel. You have been no, absolutely 100%. You have been such a poor showing for the Flat Earth. Like honestly, this is one of the easiest wins I've ever had. You have been absolutely massacred here, and everyone can see it.
Show me the real world engineering math factored in reality. You don't have any.
I've done it.
No, you haven't. You haven't shown where there's a 50-degree rotation and factored in mathematically to.
Yes, I have done that. No, I've shown you. Shut up! Shut up! You can't say I haven't. There's the documents. Don't say I haven't. There's the documents. Don't say I haven't. There's the documents. Don't say I haven't. Shut up! No. Don't. No. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Don't say I haven't. There's the documents in front of you. Shut up! No, you don't get to say that when I'm showing you the documents right now. You can't just deny reality. I'm showing you in front of your face. There is documents with the math for rotation factored in.
You've got one chart that shows some adjustments.
No,
based
no,
on the
there is so many military manuals that also have it. It's not just one.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
No, there
No, there's not.
absolutely is. You can't just say there isn't when there is.
All right.
So if you got anything to debunk anything we've been saying, or are you just going to go, no, it isn't, nah, 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 I'm not listening, sticking your fingers in your ear like a fucking moron? All right?
No, I've actually been provided.
No, you provided nothing. You
Yes,
provided
I have.
absolutely nothing. 100%.
Yes, I have.
Seriously, this is the worst defeat Flat Earth has ever had on my channel. You have
think you was
embarrassed
getting-
yourself. No, Lorenz, listen closely. Listen closely. You have embarrassed
stuttering.
yourself. Shut up.
You're
I'm talking.
stuttering.
I'm talking. Shut up. You have embarrassed yourself. You have embarrassed Flat Earth. You have embarrassed anyone that knows you. You have made an absolute fool of yourself, and all you've done is go, shut up, I'm talking. All you've done is go, nuh-uh, I don't believe it, that's fake. You don't get to say anything else. I'm going to boot you now, Lorenz. You have lost this debate harder than anyone has lost any debate in their entire life. Any final words before you want to go? No. Bye. I'm calling Poe.
Take a break. Take a breath. Oh yeah, he's a Poe. I knew he was a Poe right from the beginning.
And anyone in the chat going, oh,
The moment that-
FTFE being like Nathan Oakley. No, I was fucking nothing like Nathan Oakley there. I was holding him to a point and not letting him dance around. I was nothing like fucking Nathan Oakley. Stop being little snowflakes. Team, thoughts?
Yeah, we put too much effort into that guy.
Yeah.
He kept going back to deflection and the same thing. He would always bring you back to the same point and then go back with the same frustrating arguments.
Yeah, he can't.
Like
do
when he
anything.
said, "But you're using spherical trigonometry," but he doesn't even understand basic trigonometry. Yes, I said it. Basic trigonometry.
Basic
Yeah,
trigonometry.
he didn't understand that. So how could he even begin to understand spherical trigonometry, or how that would even be used as a defense point for him against the points you were making? I mean, he was just. I'm calling Poe. That's what I'm just calling Poe.
If he isn't a Poe, then he is one of the dumbest. But whether he's a Poe or not, that was one of the hardest defeats for a Flat Earth ever. Literally, all he had was going, nuh-uh. That was it. Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
His entire thing
Yeah.
was argument from incredulity. He didn't present any evidence that the Earth is flat. He misquoted and cherry-picked some documents from NASA, which always makes me fucking laugh. If you're going to use NASA as evidence for anything, you admit the Earth's a globe. It's as simple as that. You can't use NASA as a fucking citation and say anything other than the Earth is a globe. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
visible hand, shut up. There is no way anyone can watch that and think I got owned. I presented real-world evidence
Hey,
with
visible
real-world
hand.
measurements.
I just want to let you know, Visible Hand, that guy had no problem joining whatsoever.
Yeah, must be
we
you, you
tried really
fucking
hard
idiot.
to get you to join. You obviously don't have the mental capacity to use modern technology efficiently. So your point is irrelevant. We don't care.
Yeah.
Just shut the fuck up.
Right, oh man. Flat Earthers, honest, this is all they
Daniel
come with.
Cooper, hold on. Daniel Cooper was, I think he was the one that made me aware of it when he said, hey, ask him his MOS, because he kept using negative. And I already figured he probably was ex-military, just by how he just kept negative, negative, negative. So that's why I think he's a Poe. You know, and Daniel Cooper, he admitted that he had an MOS, kind of admitted he had an MOS, but wouldn't say what it was. So, yeah, I think he was actually military, just from the way he spoke and some of his mannerisms.
Yeah.
I think he's a Poe, though. I don't think he's a legitimate flat earther.
See, the way he is on Facebook, I don't know, maybe he just wants the attention. But I don't know. But honestly, the Visible Hand says to you, who calls themselves team? Have you got multiple personality disorder or what?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, both of them does.
All six of me.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about.
All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to read some super chats, and then we might nip over to Teams for a bit of an after show on Team Skeptic After Dark. get his gaming hours up and get that channel monetized. But I want to say first off, thank you everyone for being here. 700, 800 people have been watching all night, and that's been amazing. Thank you so much. The support that you guys give me is why I keep doing this. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep finding the Flat Earthers, bring them on and stomp them hard. Because the past few Flat Earthers we've had on, him and James George, they have just bought fuck all and been absolutely destroyed. And I love doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it. But it's you guys that I do this for. And with all the support you've given me, the super chats and everything, my computer is... I'm getting my final upgrades added in the next week. And I've now got a Ryzen 7 3700. I've got 32 gigs of RAM. I'm getting the 27 super overclocked graphics card put in. I'm getting a 1 terabyte SSD hard drive put in, and a cooling system. And then my computer is done. There will be no more breaking of the stream due to my computer, and that's thanks to you guys. That's thanks to the support and the super chats and being a member and stuff. So it's amazing, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting this channel. And I'm so close to 40k. Share my stuff everywhere and get me over that 40k. Right, so some Belgian dude for €5 says, "Where's Gollum and why can I hear his voice?" Team, I think that's about you.
Nah, man. I don't know about that Gollum shit. Nah, yeah, you're right. And you can hear my voice because I am here in fucking spirit right now. I'm on a meditation quest right now.
Fair enough. Bella Charge for $2 New Zealand says, "We go to the pub from there to drown out the dumb." There's no way to drown out this much stupid, I'm sorry. Ilya Moon for $3.33 says, "Common sense is not the same as evidence." And what you'll notice is that no flat earthers have any common sense. And we've got Jessica G for $5 says, "Hey genius, we don't believe the earth is a ball. We know it's a ball. We don't have to prove it's a ball. You have to prove that it isn't, loser." And let's look at the evidence he brought up. Oh, we can't, because he didn't bring any. Gerald Warren for $4.99 says, "Oh, please FTFE, nuke his site from orbit. Only way to be sure." The Spirit 84 for $5 says, "Bullet drop calculation in any military missile guidance software, aircraft waypoint, autopilot, all contain rotation and curvature calculations." Yes, they do.
And I didn't get to this. But there's somebody had shared with me a while back, and I had the video on my other thing, or the website loaded on my other before I reset my computer, and it was a new optic that has come out for weapons that actually take into account Coriolis for you. They make the adjustment for you based on your position. And I believe it uses an internal GPS sensor to do that.
Flat Earth killed once again. We got PhD Tony, my spirit animal out there, for $5 Australian, says, "They have not been using celestial navigation for thousands of years, you idiot." Yeah, actually, I should have mentioned that. You keep saying, "Oh, it's been working for 1,000 years on the assumption the Earth is flat." No, they didn't use a sextant for thousands of years. They've known it was a globe ever since they've used the sextant. Rangerman 9404 for $5 says, "The sun hasn't set on the east coast of the USA yet, but I can see Polaris." Po in capitals. Alright, let's see what the chat says. 1 for Po, 2 for fucking idiot. God's Auditor for $2 says, "Sorry, is this guy claiming to be an engineer?" No, his claim is that engineering proves the Earth is flat, which is obviously not true. Stringer News 1 for $2 says, "Happy Groundhog's Day, everyone." And then Stringer News 1 for $2 says, "Happy Groundhog's Day, everyone." Wait, what? Team, that was funny.
What happened? I'm sorry, I'm looking at the chat of 1s and 2s. I'm trying to see it. What was I didn't hear the... It was the Groundhog Day one?
Yeah, and I read it twice.
I remember seeing it when it came in. I remember seeing it when it came in.
We, I think, got an even split of 1 and 2s there. Yeah, some people were saying both 1, Po, and 2 a fucking idiot. That's true. Rangerman 9404 for $5 says, "Does he need a new pick to continue his quote mining?" And Nathan Termson for $5 Australian says, It's nice to see a Flerf that has come at least prepared. Then once it's shown how it supports a globe rather than flat, he falls back to nuh-uh." Yeah, at least he came with something. It's a shame that he came with evidence that the Earth's a globe. Oh, guys, you sending me super chats is turning my room into a disco. Anyone outside must think that I've got some parties in there. You going to say something, team?
No,
Nope.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Then we got Sleepy Dan for $5 says, if Lorenz claims sextants, theodolites, and telescope prove a flat Earth, he may as well claim pictures of the globe from space prove a flat Earth. Yeah, absolutely. Sparky NJ for $2.99 says, negative, the new nuh-uh. Yeah, he is the master of nuh-uh. That's all he had. Steve Cos for $5 says, native New Yorker checking in. For your information, it's Varys Anno. Can also confirm it is in fact curved and very long, just like Team's dick. Team? I don't think Team heard it. Chronic Avenger for $5 says, the adjustment isn't for the aim. They aim at the target, then make the adjustment. I know, he didn't get Coriolis. The Spirit 84 for $5 says, a sniper needs to calculate for rotation, wind, gravity, angle of attack, bullet weight, and atmospheric friction. Daniel Pratt's Water Heater for $5 says, how many norths are shown in a standard military map? 3? Yes, true, grid, and magnetic. You were never trained to shoot over 400 meters. No, I don't think he's ever passed any kind of training test in his life. Dan Robinson for £6.66 says, shout out to Rachie for listening and trying to learn. I hope my bid will help when I finally get it posted. Yeah, we're going to save Rachie. Shout out to Rachie in the chat. Hashtag save Rachie. Aslim for $5 Australian says, Habershine calculation used in aviation. Yep, the Habershine calculation is what pilots use to calculate great circle routes. Only works on a globe. Tim Pryor for $10 says, denial, 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 denial. Denial, 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 denial. Nope, 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 nope. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. What a great argument. Flat Earth wins again by a noose. And then Foldine for $10 says, if gravity doesn't exist, why can't roller coasters keep going higher as they gain momentum? Friction is already minimalized by lubricants to reduce wear and tear. Because gravity's real. Traveller X for $5 Australian says, I so want Lorenz to join the military and ask the instructing drill sergeant to show their workings. No, you're just lying. I'd fucking pay to see that. Mark Zajak became a new member. Thank you very much. You can now use my new emojis of thanks Bob and interesting from Jism and Team Skeptic in a mankini. Sorry about that. Bella Charge for $5 New Zealand says, yes, numbnuts, their position in space changed if you count the centre of gravity as 0, 0, 0, but not the position on Earth. He wouldn't understand that, Bella. Rangerman9404 for $5 says, is anyone going to use his experiment in reality? He used it in reality. Yes, I fucking did. Party! Christopher Hugan for $5 Australian says, to Team Skeptic, the reason your Karen video did so much better is because Karen videos are more well known. Answer to your question from last stream. Yeah, team, your Karen video is killing it. You there? Team. Nope, he's ran away. Robert Williams for
Man,
one.
you had to call my name when I was taking a fucking Riley. Sorry. I just stepped away. I was like, oh god, I gotta go step away to take a Riley real quick, and then fucking you're calling my name. What did I do?
Christopher Hugan for $5 Australian says, to Team Skeptic, the reason your Karen video did so much better is because Karen videos are more well known. Answer to your question from last stream. I just think it was an amazing video.
Oh,
Your
okay.
Karen video is absolutely killing it.
Yeah, like I said, man, I'm done with Flat Earth, man. Flat Earth is so boring to me. I mean, I'm not done with it. I'm still always looking for a good Flat Earth video, but just like
Good Flat Earth
I found
video.
my thing, and you know, trying to set them trends out there.
We got another new member, Nuga. Thank you very much. You can use the emoji of Team Skeptic wearing a mankini. Again, I'm sorry about that. Spooky 2 for 50 sex says, I'm sorry you have to suffer. Yeah, I think Team and I were both horrible people in past lives, and this is our penance. Then we got Holdorf333 for $2 says, best defense ever. Nuh-uh. Yeah, I'd love to see him go to court for something. Like, so, Mr. Lorenz, you were caught running over the person and then reversing back and running over them again. What do you say about that? What? Nuh-uh. Well, no, we've got evidence. There's people that saw you doing it, and there's video. Nuh-uh. Negative. That's not going to work, dude. Diabetic War Slug for $5 says, the guy's brain responds to information worse than my pancreas does sugar. Aaron Finley for $5 says, oh man, Craig, better check his blood pressure after this. The stupid is too much. Yeah, I got a little bit frustrated. But what do you expect? Flat earthers are fucking idiots. Team.
The mic is muted.
Where's the ding?
I said ding. I said ding.
All right.
The mic was muted. I'm sorry.
You suck. Tim Pryor.
I do suck. And people were like, no, hey, honestly, there were people like, man, Team Skeptic sounds like he's tired or sad. And I was like, no, it's none of that at all. I was actually doing research while this was going on, and I was trying to do so many different things at one time. And yeah,
it's all right.
But I'm not tired. I'm in a really good mood right now and having a good time tonight.
Tim Pryor for
yes,
$5 says, Team Skeptic, still waiting for that live stream where you try to drink yourself as dumb as flat earthers. I'll even join. No pun intended.
God damn.
That would be a lot of alcohol.
I mean, I'm down to do that.
Yeah.
I'm down to do that anytime. I just need to go grab a bottle of whiskey.
Team, how about when we debate Awake Souls, we both get pissed as fuck?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Every time they say something stupid, we have to take a shot. I'll be doing tequila. Nathan Thompson for $2 Australian says, negative. Yeah, well done. Great argument. God's Auditor for $2 says, sent 3 papers that factor curve rota into reality. Yeah, thank you for sending those, God's Auditor. We did use those. Much appreciated. Traveller X for $5 Australian says, let this Flerf go. He's struggling so hard and has to shut down to pure denial out of self-preservation for his stupid. Yeah. Aerophiles in the chat says, Craig, you need to debate CC, Chris from Westchester County. Well, T-Matt and I actually called him live on a stream the other day and said that he wants to debate Cy-Dan because he thinks Cy-Dan is our boss or something.
Cy-Dan! Cy-Dan's our leader. Take me to your leader. I think his name is Cy-Dan.
I want to debate Cy-Dan. I have no idea who that is, dude, but we can talk to Cy-Man-Dan. But Cy-Man-Dan doesn't debate, and that's cool. He's always said he doesn't debate. But I'll debate CC on Cy-Man-Dan's channel, definitely. Jessica G for $2 says Po Demeron, and then for $2 says Po Cahontas. And then Traveller X for $2 Australian says Repo Man. A lot of people think he's a Po. I think he might be that stupid. Better Charge for $2 New Zealand dollars says he does know 50% is a fail at school. Yeah, this is probably the highest mark he's ever had in the test. Wouldn't you say, team? He got 55 and he's like, I've never seen a number that high after I've taken a test before.
I don't know, man. That guy was horrible.
I mean, he's so stupid he'd fail a DNA test.
Yeah.
Vplay Games for 56 says, I think we can conclude he has no ability at all to visualize in the 3 dimensions. Absolutely not. Oh god, it jumped to me. Where'd it go?
No, that guy was dumb as fuck, for sure. For sure. He was dumb as fuck.
Definitely dumb as fuck. Robert Hiss for 26 says, this is for FTFE's blood pressure. Whew. Breathe. Breathe, Craig. The Spirit 84 for $5 says, FTFE's blood pressure just matched that of the Challenger Deep. Did I rage out a bit there, team?
A little bit. What would surprise me is you asked me to be nice to him, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, you were good.
He's like, oh, he'll run if we're too mean. I was fucking polite as shit.
Oh, I tried.
My art was on point tonight.
Yeah. Whose art's better, guys? 1 in the chat for team's art, 2 in the chat for my art. 3 in the chat for please don't ever you draw again.
Hold on. Yours is not considered fucking art because you use the straight line tool. I don't use that shit. All my shit's freehand with a mouse. I need to get me a tablet so I can draw
Yeah,
on
I
it.
think
You
that
guys
might
can
be the
see
next
shit
thing
with
for
a
my
draw.
computer is a tablet for doing things like that. You know, it'd be great to actually be able to draw properly to demonstrate certain things. And then we got God of the Thigh Gaps for 50 Nokias. Behold the glory of the gap. Magic, basically. Rangerman9404 for $5 says, this Flerf must have been undefeated in dodgeball as a child. I don't think people want us to draw anymore, team.
Oh, fuck that. I love that shit. I'm an expert.
Robert House for 20 secs says, this was fucking amazing. Kudos from Sweden. Thank you for watching from Sweden. Means the world. Glass Monster for 2 Canadian says, FTFE made me mod. Glass Monster, I took a whole bunch of mods away. Don't take it personally. I had too many. I had to remove a bunch. Pivot Croy for €5 says, enjoyed the stream, made my night shift bearable, even though the dude sounded like a Poe. You guys rock. We do rock. Team especially.
Yay.
I'm giving you a compliment, man. Nah. Tim Pryor for $5.
No, I know. Again, I'm right now. I'm going back through the chat. Like I'm quite like maybe 5 or 6 minutes behind where we're at right now because I'm trying to read all the times I was being tagged to debate McFlatty. You'll get
Flatty
to the
wants
super
it.
chats. Don't worry. You'll get to the super. Yeah.
Tim Pryor for $5 says, a shout out to Seek
PhD
Truth.
Tony, where you at?
A shout out to Seek Truth, Speak Truth in the comments. Yes, Seek Truth, Speak Truth, an ex-flat earther. Realised that Eric Dubay was just a con man. And then we have Potato for $4.99. I think most likely Poe of any debater I've ever watched. I've listened while doing my janitor work. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly think just stupid. Stringer News 1 for $5 says, remember, stupidity is not a plan. Po Boy came to a battle of wits unarmed. Yeah, he came to a gunfight with a fucking stick. And then got Wes for $10. I once watched a video of someone putting a camera up to a basketball that showed its horizon is flat. How do these idiots overlook simple observations like that? Is a basketball flat? Well, the answer, Wes, is that simply they're flat earthers.
Vince, apparently they prefer the word retard.
Aye?
Flat earthers are dumb as
How
fuck.
very quaint.
You there?
Yes.
Am I there?
Yes. Flat earthers are
Okay,
dumb as fuck.
Good. Okay, good. Now it's me. Now I'm thinking. I'm like, well, what happened? What happened just now?
I'm just not going to respond to you every time you speak now to freak you out. Draco Fire for $5 says, these streams never fail to make a trashy day enjoyable for me as it did today. I love this community and love being there with you all. Well, I love this community as well. Honestly, I love every fucking one of you. Even you, Glass Monster. Fohammer335 for $5 says, Team FTFE, the optics you were talking about is called Tracking Point. I want one, but they are $30,000 for the full weapons platform.
Yes, that's it right there. The tracking point sites. Those fucking things take fucking Coriolis into effect. Are you kidding me?
Let's get $30,000 together, guys. Just paypal.me /FTFE. Tim Pryor for $5.
Hey, somebody, Mr. AS, Mr. AS says, Team Skeptic, can you debate D Marble? Well, see, I tried to have a conversation with D Marble in Dallas at the Flat Earth Conference, and he ran. You'd have to ask McToon about that. Unfortunately, McToon's not here tonight, I don't think.
No.
So.
Yes, Christ Puncher, I do want to marry you, 100%. Fohammer335, oh no, just read that one. Tim Pryor for $5 says, being a Poe makes you an idiot by default. Yeah, I'll agree with that. And then the Plot Hole for $5 says, for U-boat docking, the Plot Hole Harbour has room, and FTFE is dead sexy in those jammies, where's the tea? These aren't pyjamas, this is a shirt my wife bought me. Meanies. I'll tell her that, I'm going to tell my wife that everyone thinks that I'm wearing pyjamas because of her. Mark Jefferson for $5 with no message, thank you. Jessica G for $2 says, Skeptic is scared to debate McFlatty next Tuesday. I wouldn't debate McFlatty, he's terrifying.
Yeah, it's the most serious flat earther I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
He comes with the pain.
Then we got Mark Jefferson, who became a new member. Thank you very much. You can use the emojis of Team Skeptic in a mankini. Again, sorry about that. Aaron Walrath for $5 says, would love to see a QAnon vid. I've actually been looking at some of the QAnon stuff to debunk. I mean, there's crazy, then there's fucking QAnon, like. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite sure I understand the whole QAnon conspiracy type shit.
No.
I know that there's a lot of people that comment on my mask videos. They're like, oh, she's QAnon, oh, this and that, and oh, it's just a QAnon push for the anti-maskers. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Just like, thanks for the comment.
What's with Trump saying, like, you know, that he thinks the QAnon are nice people and stuff? It's like, dude, don't encourage these fucking nut bars. Seriously.
I have no idea who they are.
Flunchy for $2 says, Team McFlatty challenges you to debate.
Yeah, that's where I was at. See, that's where I was at. I was reading those super chats and those messages when you were talking to me, and I was trying to catch up.
Tanner Withheld for $2 Australian says, Lorenz Force is more Poe than Edgar Allan. Possibly. Then Aslan for $2 Australian says, our debate about the best pizza being Hawaiian. Get out.
Just leave.
Yeah.
I tried it. Tastes like a fucking warm pizza jelly donut.
Philhammer335 for $5 says, the Flerf was so dumb that you had to study for a drugs test. By the way, both your works of art made me vomit in my mouth a bit. Sorry, not sorry.
Fucking goal achieved.
Yeah, that is exactly what we planned. NA for $6.66 says, Team, please get some drawing lessons. It's visually painful. Hail Satan.
Hey, gay, calm down out there. Fucking, that's my goddamn artwork you're talking about. Everything into art in my life. My mama told me it was good, guys. Leave me alone.
Yeah, but your mama also told you were good looking. We know she lied about that.
No, she didn't. She's never lied to me before.
When she said you're special.
Well,
actually, when she said you're special, she was telling the
kingdom.
truth. But when she said special, she did this.
Quote marks, air quotes.
Yeah. McFlatty for $2.99 says, my mum doesn't know I got her credit card. Well, if that's the case, do another $200 super chat before she finds out. Ilya Moon for $5 says, I know way too much on QAnon. I could help on that one, lol. Yeah, Ilya Moon, let's do a collaboration on QAnon. Totally up for that. I do want to branch out into more areas of stupidity. I'm still going to be mainly debunking Flat Earth because I find it fucking hilarious. And I think there is always going to be new Flat Earthers that come along and try to push the same claims again. And I can always try and make it funny. I'm in the middle of writing a script at the moment that's really hard because it includes Red Pill philosophy. And I didn't realize that Red Pill philosophy was so fucking boring. And with Flat Earthers saying the same shit over and over, it is hard to actually, you know, make that funny all the time. But it's going to be a good video. Give me 5 days at the most, and I think I'll have something ready. But talking about Red Pill philosophy, team, it's now been 304 days, 3 hours and 6 minutes since he refused to debate me, even on his channel.
Well, he needs to hurry the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's 365. Shit, we've almost made it through an entire pandemic, and he still won't debate you from the comfort of his own fucking home while being fucking isolated.
Nope.
What a fucking coward.
Do you know what his reasoning is? He refuses to debate me because I support Nazi ideas.
He doesn't have... Oh, because you support Nazi ideas.
Yeah, basically because I said to him that it's up to YouTube what they do if they want to restrict Flat Earth videos or not. He says that that's equivalent to Nazis burning books. And I support Nazi ideas because I'm okay with YouTube deciding what they do with their own company. Are you speechless? You muted your mic again? I think he's actually dropped out. Oh well. See if he comes back. Oh, one more super chat. We got potato for $4.99. My favourite pizza is spinach, chicken, and Alfredo sauce. I imagine that's quite nice. Let me just see if Teams messaged me. Don't know where he's gone, but we're about to get off anyway and head over to Teams channel for an after show. So let's just close it out, and we will see you over at Team Skeptic After Dark if you feel like coming over. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for the super chats. If you're unable to support me financially, the best way to help my channel is to spread my stuff on Facebook and Twitter. Like I said, I'm so close to 40k. help spread my stuff and get me over that mark, and that will be amazing. I can't believe that I've got nearly 40,000 subscribers. I love every single one of you. Thank you, Lorenz Force, for being a dumb person. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. 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 Fight the flat.